Till you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble. Till you do right by me, everything you even think about gonna fail. The jail you plan for me is the one you gonna rot in. Everything you done to me, already done to you. The jail you plan for me is the one you gonna rot in.
All right, kings and queens, it's Wisdom's daughter. Welcome to another Wisdom Family Picnic. You guys see what's up on the screen. We're going to be talking about secrets and lies. What is Sonya hiding? So this is a continuation of the live that we did last night, because as I told you, there were some things that I wanted to share with you guys. I did a lot more digging today, and yeah, I hit the mother load. I found a whole bunch of stuff on Miss Sonya Durham, aka Miss Sonya Waller. But before we get into that, let's see who we have in the building. Let's see who we got here. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me see who's in the room. All right, so who was here first? So I've got Amber. Amber was in the building first. How are you, Amber? I got Sonya Vic in the building. Snoopalicious said, hey, Wisdom's daughter, Maz in chat. What we got at the picnic today? All right, we got seafood boiled steak, ribs, deviled eggs, veggie kebabs, turkey legs, nachos, guacamole, and Mexican salsa. Can y'all tell that I'm hungry? I might just be a little bit hungry. Old School Nixie is in the building. She said, good evening, Wisdom fam. I got Jay Shawnee in the building. He said, that menu, these darn pics, Ozempic is expensive. Harriet Thomas, how are you? Shout out to April Crumpton, continuously evolving. New Orleans lady, or New Orleans lady. I got Juju D, Sammy Cake, that girl rep PK New York, Miss Know-It-All, Laskia Elder, Nightbot is in the building. We're going to put the Nightbot to work on this evening. And I got Zenso. Thank you guys so much for being in the building. Welcome also to Rosalind Janelle. Thank you guys for being here. So we have a lot of stuff to get into. We are not going to be reviewing any calls tonight because it's just going to be straight receipts all night long. Well, not all night long because I can't go that long. I'm getting old, y'all. But I have a lot that I'm going to share with you. We're going to take a deep dive into Bonytail, Phonytail's past. That's what we're going to be looking at. Because I don't know if it's because she's older and she's forgetful, if she's confused, or if it's just because she's a pathological liar. But yeah, she has not been honest. There's a lot of things that she has said that are not true. And now, because, you know, I'm very inquisitive, okay, I had to inquire on some things. And there was some tea that I have been holding on for months that I wanted to share with you guys. So we're going to get into all of that. Make sure you guys hit the like button for me as you are coming into the building. This is just a gentle reminder. Turn on your notifications. And for those of you who did not subscribe to the channel prior to, you're going to have to wait about 40 minutes before you're going to be able to participate in the chat. Unfortunately, I had to do that because some people was over here last night acting a fool because I didn't set up the I didn't do my settings beforehand before I started the live. So that's not going to happen. We're not going to have any interruptions. All right, now I got Humbling Soul in the building. He says, hello. All right, I got Talia Young in the building. The Real Brown Family Chronicles in the building. Silver and Gold said, hey, y'all. She said she's here for the picnic. Let's do it. So if you guys, okay, where am I going to start? Because there's a lot. So I think what I want to do is pick up somewhat where we left off. So we learned a lot about Sonya's daddy, okay, Mr. Quentin. And we read his obituary and we learned that although he was not a perfect husband or any kind of a husband, because he apparently had multiple families and he was living double and triple lives, he had a huge impact on the community. And so I found a news story. It's just 1 minute that was done on him. And I want to actually show you that because it's one thing to read it in an article and it's another thing to actually see it. So I think we're going to start there. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we will hear this news story on Sonya's dad, because I think it's called Portraits in Black History. So their local news station actually did a Black history story on him, which I think is absolutely
His Portrait in Black History
is absolutely amazing. So hang on one second. I'm going to make it big. Make sure you guys can see. Okay. Let's go ahead and play that. So we'll start with that and get that out the way, and then we'll segue into his daughter and her sordid past.
His Portrait in Black History, we recognize a Cleveland man who uses his own time and money to help others learn a skill.
That's right. For the past 60 years, Quentin Durham has been a carpenter. Back in 2005, he created the Durham Construction Trade Institute out of an old church gymnasium in Cleveland. He feels there's a lack of opportunities for minorities to learn proper construction skills, so he started the school.
Can't go out here asking these contractors to hire you when you don't have any skills. Let's put it like sports. If you want to get on the Cavaliers basketball team and you don't know how to play basketball, they can't use you. The same way the contractors don't pay you until...
But Durham does not charge tuition for the construction course, which is held 4 times a week. He does require his students to have their own tools. So a local hero helping to change lives.
So I just thought that was really, awesome hearing that story, because again, although it sounds like from what we learned yesterday that he sacrificed a lot of his time for his community. And, I think that is something to be celebrated. Okay. So, all right. So Miss Munch 08 said, hey there, WD, I finally fell out the bushes and I have red velvet pound cake. She said, let's go. I am so with you. Let's go. Not the red velvet pound cake. That's what I'm talking about. The red velvet pound cake. Let's do it. All right. So let's see. Where am I going to start with Phony Tale over here? Because it's a lot. It's a lot of information. I have a stack of documents on my desk from her criminal and civil cases, and I only have half of it. And this file folder is about 3 inches thick. Okay. So, dropping stuff. So it's a lot. But we gonna go ahead and get into it, and I will get your comments on the screen as I can. Those of you who want to become members, the link is there. Membership starts at $2.99. You can become a Wisdom Ambassador, and there is no gotcha. If you're not satisfied after a month, you can always cancel. But my hope is that you will have such a good time at the family picnic that you ain't gonna want to cancel. All right, because there's a lot of good things that I do drop in members that I can't show everybody, okay? Especially because YouTube is kind of funny that way. Cool Weather Farmer said, I know some right now who charges $5,000 for his construction class. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Silver and Gold said, let's make the devil mad tonight. Let's go. All right, y'all. We're gonna be good because we want to focus on the real devil. And I hate to call her that, but Sonya's not a nice person. Not a nice person, squandered a lot of opportunities, and is hiding. Like I said, she's hiding quite a bit. So let me forge ahead. I think what we're going to do is start with her LinkedIn. Y'all want to see her LinkedIn page? Let's start with her LinkedIn. Okay, let's start with that. So let me go ahead and share. Hold on one second. Let's take a look and see where her information is. So one of the Wisdom family actually sent me a screenshot. Oh my goodness. Actually sent me a screenshot of one of her LinkedIn pages, or her LinkedIn page. And so, I had to verify and make sure it's her, because when you go on LinkedIn, Sonya Waller, there's more than one Sonya Waller. Okay, so let me pull these up on the screen. So this is what we were having a nice kiki over email. This is what her LinkedIn page looks like. Okay, so if you go to LinkedIn and type in Sonya Waller, this is what you should find. Okay, so the first thing you should notice is she's open to work. Since when? We're open to work now? Since when? We don't hold down jobs. We just sleep all day. And go visit Nesto. But anyway, why does she have a picture of a Caucasian lady with a high ponytail? Okay. Bonytail, phonytail, this is who I believe she desires to be. Anyway, she has on here that she currently works for Tiger Shark Realty, and she put realty. She didn't even spell it right. I didn't even notice that. She didn't spell it right. She put realty. Listen, she works for Tiger Shark Real Liddy. Like, this picnic is real Liddy, okay? Anyway, so if you continue down on her page, you're going to see her experience. So apparently she's the director of business administration at Tiger Shark Realty since August of 2015. Oh, really? To the present, 8 years and 10 months. She works for Tiger Shark Realty. She has experience in human resources, bookkeeping, management, tax preparation, business management, staffing, and payroll. Okay. She was also the administrative director at Elliott Enterprise, Inc. from May 2009 to November 2014. Now, I'm just going to let you know, I started calling some of these places. I didn't get to call all of them, but I called a couple places to do an employment verification. And I'm going to share with you what I learned when I called. Because one thing about the devil is crafty, right? Mixes a combination of lies mixed with truth. So you kind of have to separate the two. Then we see that she was a paralegal from May 2008 until June 2009. So for 1 year and 2 months, she worked for the law offices of David J. Stern, which we're going to learn all about David J. Stern. Mr. Stern, sir, did a whole lot of dirt. You think Bonytail is bad? Wait till we get into this man right here, okay? He caused a financial ruin for a lot of people, but we'll get into that in just a minute. And then, sorry that it's cut off, but it says David Butler and Associates, December 1997 to January 2008, 10 years, 2 months. So from December 97 to January of 08, she worked for them for 10 years and 2 months. Now, she was locked up for about a year during this time frame. We'll get into that in just a second. It's all coming. It's all coming. As you guys come into the room, make sure you hit the like button for me. I appreciate you so much. It is a free way to support the channel. Okay. Of course, I appreciate the super chats and the super stickers and the memberships and all those things, but everyone doesn't necessarily, have extra coins to give. But if you can put your finger on that like button and subscribe to the channel, that's a great way to support. So then after allegedly, now think about this. She's got some crossover here. So how was she working for, okay, let me just take a look. Okay, so allegedly she stopped working for Donald Butler and Associates. And we're going to learn some interesting things about Donald Butler and Associates when we look at her criminal and civil history. There's a reason why we call her Civil Sonya. It's civil. Everything is civil. We're going to learn why she thinks everything is civil tonight. We're going to learn why she knows so much about civil and why she thinks she knows about law. And it has nothing to do with her working at Donald Butler and Associates. So then she has a gap in her work history. And then in May, for 1 year, now she's no longer in Ohio. Now she's in Plantation, Florida, working for this real estate firm. Okay. Then, now, allegedly, she was working for them until June, but she has on here that starting May 2009 until 2014, she was working for Elliott Enterprise, Inc. You know what? I never looked that up. Let me look up Elliott Enterprise, Inc. because I actually didn't get a chance to look that up today. Sonya has 34 civil cases in Cuyahoga County in Ohio. Yeah. She does. Okay, so let me see what I can see about this Elliott Enterprises, Inc. I wanted to see, first of all, if it's a real company. And then we're going to get to her education because that's interesting as well. All right, so this is, I don't know what this is. Processing your request. What? Okay. So this has to do with finance, I guess. I'm not sure what this is. This is some company. Let me see if I can find something, if I can really find something on this. I'll share my screen so you guys can see what it is that I'm doing. Hang on a second. Let's present. Let's see. I'm just doing a Google search. I wanted to see what is this Elliott Enterprises. Okay, Elliott Enterprises. I'm seeing a couple things here. I may have to look into this a little bit more. And this is where? This is Elliott Enterprises is located. Where is this located? She says it's located in Miami, Florida. Okay, well, let's see. Because I will definitely give them a call tomorrow to see if she really worked here. All right, here we go. Well, there's a map quest. Let's see. Because some of the stuff on her background was not, yeah. Okay, well, it looks like it's some type of an actual place. But yeah, we'll look into that a little bit more later. 11098 Biscayne Boulevard. Let me just see if I can get that pulled up. Let's just see. Yeah, that's it. So interesting. It comes up in a map quest, but it doesn't really come up like the way a business should come up. So I'll have to look into this a little bit further and see if there's a number and call. Okay. Or one of you super sleuths. Okay. If you guys want to call, it's Elliott Enterprises Inc. If you want to call and find out what's happening with this. Oh, last event, voluntary dissolution. Okay, so apparently this looks like this company doesn't exist anymore. All right, that's that. So interesting how we put companies on our LinkedIn that don't exist anymore. So this says date filed, effective date was 2/11/2003. Interesting. However, when did she say she worked for these people? How are you working for a company after the company is dissolved? For real, Phony Tail? The company was dissolved. So, okay. All right. I guess I can't call because it's dissolved. So 2009. And see, that's the thing. You can't even verify anymore. You can't verify anymore. It says that this company was dissolved in 2003, but yet and still, Phonytail is saying that 6 years after the company was dissolved, she's worked for them. Wow. Okay. Yeah. And then after that, currently she's working for Tiger Shark Realty. I didn't look up that one either. I'm not going to look that up right now unless you guys want me to. Let me see. Maybe I can look that up real quick. These are the two that I did not, because I got so caught up with the other stuff that she was doing. I didn't look up Tiger Shark Realty, if this is even a real place. Let's see. Miami, Florida. Let's see what comes up when we do Tiger Shark. And some of you who are on the live, if you guys want to simultaneously look at some stuff with me, you can. So their website is still, their website and their company looks like it's still in existence. So I will definitely contact them and find out. I know the truth, but I'm still going to call and find out if she works here because I think it would be funny. And y'all can't see what I'm looking at. Hold on a second. I think that will be quite funny. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It's commercial real estate. Okay, Tiger Shark Realty, not Real Liddy. Okay, as you said. And there's a phone number here, 305-621-2001. Okay, if anybody wants to call, because you guys are super sleuths. And I appreciate you guys emailing me anytime you find things. You guys have definitely been sending me some gems, and I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to continue looking at this fake LinkedIn page over here. Let me pull it back up. All right. So that's that. Then she has her education listed as the Academy of Court Reporting and Technology in Cleveland. So I looked that up, and what do you think I found? It doesn't exist anymore anyway. The website doesn't even work. Okay. It doesn't work. If you guys go on LinkedIn and you type that in, there is a website. It does not work. Academy of Court Reporting and Technology does not exist anymore. It may have existed at one point. It does not exist anymore. Their website was Miami Jobs. MiamiJacobs.edu. That's interesting. Wow. That's really interesting. And when you click on this website, it doesn't work. miamijacobs.edu. It sounds like she made this up. I'm just saying. I tried to find whatever information I could on Academy of Court Reporting and Technology in Cleveland. Like I said, more secrets and lies. Permanently closed. How convenient. How convenient. How convenient. It's permanently closed. I'm going to be doing a lot of back and forth, guys, as I share with some things and take some things away, because I want to make sure that I'm not sharing any personal information of anybody unintentionally. So if you guys can see that over here on the right, it is permanently closed. It was in Akron, Ohio. Okay. So can't even verify if she went there or not. I always find that suspicious when people have a lot of companies and education and things like that on their resume or their LinkedIn, and the companies no longer exist because you can't verify. So that's that. Let's see what else. Okay, now you can see it. It says permanently closed. Okay, permanently closed in Akron. And then what else did I take a look at? Okay, here. So now you can see this website. This website right here, miamijacobs.edu. That website doesn't exist. It says error. There's nothing there. So I don't believe she went to paralegal school. Okay. Academy of Court Reporting and Technology in Cleveland. I don't think so. I wish I could find out when it closed. That would have been interesting. Maybe I can find out when the school closed, because she said that she was there from 1988 to 1991. So I'll do some research and find out when it closed. But anyway, so these are just some of the things that I had to kiki about, because as I said, she lies so very much. Let me see what you guys are talking about in the chat. And then we're going to move right along. I'm going to move into this David J. Stern business, because it's quite interesting. And then after that, we will get into her cases. Okay, there's a lot. And Sonya's been involved in civil actions and cases since she was a minor. How about that? Definitely a pathological liar. Absolutely big sisterology. Absolutely. Nothing white about her parents. You guys were funny. All right, I'm just scrolling through. See what her daddy was about making money, and he loved his Black community, unlike Boneytail. Absolutely. Okay, Jackie Chandler said I brought the gin and juice. Yes, absolutely. Because we rolling down the street, sipping on gin and juice. That's right. Make me a cup, because I'm gonna need it trying to get into all of these cases. Okay, Harpo, who that white woman? Y'all funny. Let me put it back up on the screen. Y'all are hilarious. Yeah, y'all, that's Sonya Waller. Y'all didn't know she's open to work. She's open to work. Sonya know that she don't hardly look like this Caucasian lady. Yeah, she said she was retired. She's just plain tired. She said a lot of things. Tell the truth, said help, guys. Yes, God created Black. Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. Absolutely. No, we just getting started. I'm starting with the light work stuff, okay? Because this is gonna get real interesting real fast. Jay Shawnee King is in the building. He says she did say that she did say that one was out of business in one of her interviews. Yeah, but that's convenient, isn't it? That's definitely convenient that you can't verify anything because everything is closed. Someone says she finished high school in 3 years. Yeah, because she's just that smart. Diva314 said only way to verify jobs that close will be with the tax transcript. A lot of my previous jobs closed, and that's the only way they can verify that I'm telling the truth. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I wouldn't even go looking for that information for Boneytail, because it's probably going to come up that she dropped out, like V Brown said. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Damn, everything dies or falls apart after Boneytail touches or encounters it. She's definitely poison. Yeah, she's a virus. She's a pathogen. We got James NC in the building. How are you doing, love? Titanium, I am. That's the white Sonya. Hi, Carla. How are you doing? And I said what I said. Nesto definitely met his match. She's just as scandalous as him. You have no idea, but you about to find out. All right, so let me get this off of the screen and let's roll into some of these articles. So I have a couple of documents to show you guys first, and then we're going to get into a couple of these articles that I found. So let me get this back up on the screen, because I have 1,000 windows open. So let me just see where. Okay, so window number 2 is this one. Yep. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just make sure that I make it big. And okay. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So let me see. I'll try to make it bigger so you guys can actually see that. Okay, there we go. So the law offices of David J. Stern, where Phony Tail stated that she worked for 1 year. Okay, they are not BBB accredited. Okay, this business is not Better Business Bureau accredited. It also said the business has 0 complaints. I beg to differ. All right, located in Miami, Florida. It says this business is an industry that may require professional licensing. You think? So that was the first thing that I noticed. And we see that Mr. David Stern is the president. Okay, he's the president, and he's listed as the contact information. So this was his firm. All right, I'm gonna switch over to another document. All right, again, let me make it big so you guys can see. All right. This information is on the internet. It's available, so you're not going to see any watermarks on here. Okay. This is an order of suspension because Mr. Stern was his law license and all that was suspended. So I'm just going to read it. The commission finds that Stern was admitted to practice law in the state of Florida in 1991. On January 7, 2014, the Supreme Court of Florida disbarred Stern for engaging in a pattern of misconduct, improper staff training, missed hearings, and abandonment of case files while serving as the head of the law offices of David J. Stern, PA. The court referee noted that Stern's misconduct reflected a low level of competence and ethics and involved, among other things, false notarizations, witnessing and backdating, and fraudulent attorneys' fees and affidavits. I'm sorry, and fraudulent attorneys' fees affidavits. I said it right. Okay, so during the time of the misconduct for which Stern was disbarred, he was the CEO of a public company which made filings with the commission in that capacity. In view of the foregoing, the commission finds that Stern is an attorney who has been disbarred by the state within the meaning of Rule 102E2 of the commission's rules of practice. Accordingly, it is ordered that David J. Stern is forthwith suspended from appearing or practicing before the commission pursuant to Rule 102E2 of the commission's rule of practice. And this was dated August 12, 2015. This is the person that she worked for. Leave it to Ponytail to be working for a company with a low level of competence and ethics. All right. Improper staff training and all type of foolishness. Here is another document. This is the Florida Bar. Let me make it bigger so you guys can read that. The Florida Bar versus David James Stern. Okay. So basically it says the same thing. He was disbarred. This is basically the document stating that he is disbarred. It's public record. As I said, you can find it. It said that he employed over 30 attorneys and over 200 support staff. So I guess Phony Tail was one of the support staff that he employed. Right? The respondent is, and at all times material to this action was, a member of the Florida Bar subject to the jurisdiction of and disciplinary rules of the Florida Supreme Court or the Supreme Court of Florida. All right, so he operated a law firm in Broward County, Florida, incorporated as the law offices of David J. Stern. Oh, that's what got him in trouble. A significant portion of work performed by the respondent's law firm is not performed by attorneys, but it is performed by non-lawyer staff. Sound familiar? The attorneys in respondent's law firm have a duty to supervise the non-lawyer staff as well as review the non-lawyer staff work product and sign off on it for the purposes of foreclosure actions. At all times, material to this complaint, the respondent was the sole shareholder, director, and officer of the firm. Respondent is the sole officer, director, and shareholder of Professional Title and Abstract Company of Florida, Inc., herein referred to as Professional Title. So count one reasserts and realleges a reference of the allegations set forth. So basically, as we said, he had duties being or tasks being completed by employees who were not attorneys. Okay, non-lawyers doing things that only lawyers should do. Right. As a matter of industry standard, residential loan documents provide that borrowers must pay lenders reasonable attorney's fees and costs lenders incur in foreclosing defaulted loans. As a result of market pressure reflecting the competition among law firms which concentrate in or limit their practice to foreclosure, respondent has agreed with several lenders to charge a fixed fee for foreclosure actions. This fee is generally $1,000, sometimes slightly more. As part of the foreclosure proceeding, the respondent's law firm must ensure that they foreclose the interest of anyone whose involvement with the real property in question may result in a cloud on the title to the real property. Respondent is an agent for Attorneys Title Insurance Fund, Inc. The fund will provide to attorneys, agents such as respondent, all of the title work necessary for the foreclosure proceeding at a modest charge. I'm going to explain all of this shortly in an article because a lot of this is law jargon. And for those of you who are like, I don't know what this is saying, it's okay. We're going to get to the article that's going to explain exactly what they did. Let me just put it to you like this. They called this man in his case foreclosure gate. Okay, that should tell you enough. Foreclosure gate. Because the amount of attorney's fees respondent may charge is limited by his contract with clients, respondent created Professional Title as a means for providing the services in a manner he controls, and as a result, increasing the monies he receives for each foreclosure matter. Respondent orders title searches from the fund at prices ranging from $75 to $90, depending on the property in question. Although respondent could order what is referred to as an examined search, which is guaranteed by the fund to have identified those whose interests must be foreclosed, respondent generally only or requests only a basic title search that he can provide the examination through his law firm personnel. In some circumstances, respondent orders examined searches from the fund for approximately $150, then his law firm personnel do additional examination. At all times, material, and I'm not going to read all this is a lot. At all times, material to this complaint, the respondent did not have Professional Title render an invoice. As a routine practice, only in situations where a borrower or their counsel challenged the amount of respondent's cost did respondent generate a Professional Title invoice. Professional Title invoices, when they are generated, reflect respondent's costs for professional title services in a range from $325 to $400. These invoices, as well as the affidavits filed by respondent's law firm in foreclosure cases, suggest that these are out-of-pocket expenses paid by respondent to Professional Title or to a combination of Professional Title and the fund. In reality, in many cases, respondents' out-of-pocket expenses for title work were only those of the fund. These costs range from $75 to $150. Okay, let me just keep going. I want to get to some of the nitty-gritty of what. Okay, so he also, some of these other charges included invoicing practices that misled clients and others to believe that the title, that the Professional Title performed services. Okay, so basically he was charging them for services that they never performed. Okay, I'm just running through this because it's 12 pages. I'm not going to read all this because we'll all be asleep. But he was charged with several counts. Responded by substantial use of and reliance on non-lawyer personnel with no authority to negotiate a resolution inhibits foreclosure defendants' access to information about their reinstatement figures. Unsuccessful attempts by foreclosure defendants to communicate with attorneys handling their cases result in increasing attorneys' fees and consequently increased difficulty in defendants' ability to reinstate. What that means is that they basically don't give them the information that they need, they don't respond, and then time is up and they foreclose on their house. Okay. All right, so you guys get the idea. I'm not gonna read all of this, but what I will do is I'll take some screenshots and I'll put them in members. I just want to see if there was anything else. Okay, I'll put them in members for you guys to see. But he was charged with 4 counts of just non-professional practices. Okay. So let's jump to the article so we can make sense of all this. Because as I said, this is a lot. Okay. The articles are not in any particular order. So some of it may be a little redundant. Okay. Just a little disclaimer there. Oh, I keep doing that. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to go completely out of it. Okay. So let's look at the first one, the rise and fall. Let's see. The rise and fall of David. Now, here we go. Okay. Okay, sorry, y'all. I was reading this earlier. So this is on NBC News, the rise and fall of a foreclosure king. That in and of itself is just disturbing to me. The fact that they're calling this man a foreclosure king. That's just disturbing in and of itself. All right, so I'm going to read this article to you. During the housing crash. Now, I want you to go back to 2008 when the financial bubble burst. Okay. This was the time when right before the bubble burst, there were so many houses on the market. People who had never qualified for houses before were being approved for loans that they should have never been approved for. People were given arms. They were given balloon mortgages. Okay, these are mortgages that start out low and increase over time because they assume that as time goes on, your salary should increase. So you may start out paying a $2,800 mortgage, and then 2-3 years in, now it's $3,800. 5 years in, it's $5,800. It's terrible. And so the bubble burst. Well, this lawyer had a lot to do with that. During the housing crash, it was good to be a foreclosure king. David Stern was Florida's top foreclosure lawyer, and he lived like an oil sheik. Okay, this is what he looks like. This is a terrible picture, but that's what he looks like. David Stern was Florida's top foreclosure lawyer, and he lived like an oil sheik. He piled up a collection of trophy properties, glided through town in a fleet of 6-figure sports cars, and with his bombshell wife, partied on an ocean cruiser the size of a small hotel. When homeowners fell behind on their mortgages, the banks flocked to quote-unquote foreclosure mills like Stern's to push foreclosures through the courts on their behalf. To his megabank clients, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, GMAC, Citibank, and Wells Fargo, Stern was the ultimate repo man. At industry gatherings, Stern bragged in his boyish voice of talking mortgages from the cradle. At industry gatherings, Stern bragged in his boyish voice of taking mortgages from the cradle to the grave. So he basically is bragging about taking people's homes. And he took a lot of homes illegally, technically. Of the federal government's disastrous homeowner relief plan, which was supposed to keep people from getting evicted, he quipped, "Fortunately, it's failing." The worse things got for homeowners, the better they got for Stern. That is until last fall, when the nation's foreclosure machine blew apart and Stern's gilded world came undone. Within a few months, Stern went from being the subject of a gushing magazine profile to being the subject of a Florida investigation, class action lawsuits, and blogger, I can't pronounce this, Schadenfreude, that at last long, the foreclosure king was dead. What Stern represents is an industry that was completely unrestrained, unchecked, unpunished, and unsupervised, says Florida defense attorney Matt Weiner. This was business gone wild. The rise and fall of Stern, now 50, provides an inside look at how the foreclosure industry worked in the last decade. And this is the company that Phonytail Bonytail is saying she worked for, and how it fell apart. It also shows how banks, together with their law firms, built a quick and dirty foreclosure machine that was designed to take as many houses as fast as possible. Not long ago, the world of back office bank procedures was of little interest to the public. But revelations last fall about robo-signers powering through hundreds of foreclosure affidavits a day without verifying a single sentence changed all of that. Today, the banking industry's eviction juggernaut is under intense scrutiny as allegations of systemic foreclosure fraud mount. The 50 state attorneys general are conducting a foreclosure industry probe. So are state and federal regulators. Class action lawsuits are gathering force, and with increasing frequency, state judges are tossing out foreclosure suits in favor of homeowners. The developments are prolonging the housing market depression, casting doubt on mortgage ownership, and calling into question whether mortgage-backed securities are in fact backed by nothing at all. The Florida Attorney General's Economic Crimes Division is investigating 3 law firms, including Stearns, over allegations they created fraudulent legal documents, gouged homeowners with inflated fees, steered business to companies they owned, and filed foreclosures without proving the bank actually had a legal interest in the loan. Florida authorities characterized the foreclosure process at these law firms as a virtual morass of fake documents, and depicted Stern's operation as something akin to the TV show Lost, only instead of people that went missing, it was paperwork. Stern's employees churned out bogus mortgage assignments, fake signatures, falsified notarizations, and foreclosed on people without verifying their identities, the amounts they owed, or who owned their loans, according to employee testimony. The Attorney General is also looking at whether Stern paid kickbacks to big banks. There's a David Stern in every state, sometimes more than one, says Jacksonville legal aid attorney April Charney, who has successfully stopped foreclosure for hundreds of Florida families. Stern denied repeated requests for comments. He did not answer inquiries at his office or his main residence in Fort Lauderdale. Stern's lawyer, Jeffrey Tu, agreed to an interview in late December at his Miami office and then canceled it the night before without further comment. Stern's story, starting with his law degree in 1986 from South Texas College of Law, can be pieced together through thousands of pages of court documents, myriad dispositions, and scores of interviews. After working at a law firm for mortgage lenders, Stern started his own practice in Fort Lauderdale in 1994. 4 years later, he got a massive break. The mortgage giant Fannie Mae. Everybody on this live should remember Fannie Mae, a government-backed agency that provides market stability for mortgage lenders, named Stern to its exclusive attorney network. That meant Fannie directed banks to use Stern's firm when foreclosing in Florida. Fannie also named Stern Attorney of the Year in 1998 and 1999. Employees from that era remember an office that liked to party together. You guys ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah. There you go. Stern enjoyed dressing up for his office bashes. One time he sauntered on stage, turned out like Michael Jackson. Old School Nixie, thank you for the super chat. I wonder if Stern was the white man that Sonya told Nesto she used to date, but then said she broke it off because he got fat and was clingy. It's possible. Old School Nixie, you stay acting up. It is very possible. Did we see his picture? Yeah. I'll try to get a better picture because this picture is kind of fuzzy. Can't really see it too good. But anyway, all right. Where did I leave off? All right. So almost from the beginning, Stern faced trouble. In 1998, he was named in a class action lawsuit alleging that he padded fees on foreclosed homeowners. Stern settled for $2.2 million, which is something that you do when you're guilty. According to legal testimony, at the time, a Fannie Mae official, Fannie was warned about troubles at the Stern firm, but Fannie continued referring cases to Stern. Fannie Mae spokeswoman Amy Bonita, wow, these names, Lord help me, Bonita Tybus says, at all times, Fannie Mae has had a reasonable expectation that our servicers and the law firms adhere to proper procedures and conduct under the law. In instances where we learn that services or law firms are not adhering to our requirements or applicable law, we immediately engage and take action, appropriate action, which may include termination. Yeah, right. Soon after, Stern was sued again, this time for sexual harassment. A former paralegal alleged that Stern created a sexually laden atmosphere in which he routinely touched and grabbed and subjected to simulated center course of his employees. So, old school Next C, you might be right when you say that that might be the white man that she used to date, because apparently he was messing with his employees. Stern settled that suit in 2000 for an undisclosed amount. By this time, lawyers and homeowner activists were also warning lenders, federal regulators, and the Florida bar about Stern. In 2002, the Florida Supreme Court remanded Stern, submitting potential misleading fee affidavits. None of the accusations stalled the firm's steroidal growth. After the economy crashed in the fall of 2008 and ravaged the housing market, Florida, along with Nevada, Arizona, and California, became foreclosure central. Stern's caseload rose from 15,000 foreclosures in 2006 to 70,400 in 2009. His staff tripled to more than 1,200. To keep up with the demand, Stern set up offices in the Philippines. In the Philippines, I mean, the Philippines is beautiful, but I'm just saying, when the U.S. staff responsible for entering big data in the foreclosure files logged off, the offshore workers logged on. Well, I'll be damned. Revenue swelled from $41 million in 2006 to $260 million in 2009. According to an SEC filing, the firm moved into a plush marble-floored headquarters near Miami that was all glass and had fountains, baby. By now, Stern was driving a Bugatti and had purchased at least $60 million in property, including a 16,000 square foot island compound that sits behind 2 security gates. Thank you very much. But all the paperwork Stern's firm was cranking out to make his fortune would soon come back to haunt him. The foreclosure business is a volume game. Banks typically pay law firms like Stern's about $1,400 for each successful foreclosure. But the banks can pay a lot less if the firm doesn't successfully foreclose within a certain time frame, usually around 6 months. So with so many foreclosures flooding in, Stern's firm could not keep up. So Stern took shortcuts by hiring the young and cheap ponytail. So he hired the young and cheap. The girls would come out on the floor not knowing what they were doing, says Tammy Lou Capusta, who worked in Stern's foreclosure department in 2008 and 2009. I wish I could find this lady because I'm pretty sure she knows Ponytail. They worked there at the same time. Mortgages would get placed in different files. They would get thrown out. There was just no real organization when it came to original documents. Employee dispositions paint a picture of a firm under constant pressure from the banks to move faster. The longer it took to foreclose, the more money the banks stood to lose. Like so many in the industry, Stern had a strategy to cope with all the volume and velocity. Robo-signing, yay! One employee testified that Stern's chief lieutenant, a one-time file clerk named Cheryl Salmons, because I thought I was going to see Sonya's name in here somewhere, who rose to become the firm's chief operating officer, signed as many as 1,000 foreclosure affidavits a day without reading a single word. The employee says Salmon's hand got so tired that she told 3 other employees to forge her signature. Salmons also signed numerous mortgage assignments with a notary stamp that didn't even exist at the time of signing. Notary stamps are only valid for 4 years. The only way Salmons could have signed mortgage assignments at the time they were supposedly notarized was if she had been capable of time travel. Stern rewarded Salmons with a new BMW SUV every year, paid all her bills, took care of the mortgage payment on her home, according to testimony from 2 employees. Salmons did not respond to requests for comment. Billings surged, and so did the dysfunction. Kapusta testified that she received 100 phone calls a day from people who never received their foreclosure notices or who wanted loan modifications but couldn't get through to the banks. If she talked too long on the phone, Kapusta testified, Salmons would yell at her. Everything was about getting the judgment entered because we had to report to the banks, Kapusta said. Stern battled to keep the chaos inside his firms a secret. In 2008 and 2009, whenever the Fannie Mae auditors were about to touch down in Miami for their routine monitoring, Stern's employees sometimes toiled through the night, ripping the stickers and client codes off Fannie files and replacing them with a different lender. Wolf of Wall Street, I'm just saying. Then, as an extra precaution, they hauled all disguised files to a remote back room. Stern then gave Fannie officials the white glove treatment with catered meals and chauffeuring. Rolled out the red carpet. The incomplete file stayed hidden until the auditors left town. Fannie Mae's Benita Tybus says that, to our knowledge, no one at Fannie Mae had their expenses paid by the Stern law firm. Early 2010 brought Stern's biggest coup. He spun off a chunk of his business called DJSP that performed mortgage process services like title searches and lien monitoring and took it public. The deal reportedly made Stern $146 million, including $55 million cash. DJSP stock started trading in January at $10 a share. Within months, battered by rumors and indiscretions at Stern's firm, it was only worth half. On July 20th, two investors filed a securities fraud class action alleging that Stern knowingly misled them by failing to disclose the problems within the business. DJSP was a scam, says Bill Warner, a Sarasota private eye, who successfully defended himself against a foreclosure suit brought by Stern. At the end of July, Florida attorney Kenneth Trent, who had blocked Stern from foreclosing on a homeowner who was current on his mortgage. See, this is what they did. Filed a federal lawsuit against Stern's firm under a statute normally reserved for gangsters, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, or RICO. Sonya stays associated with people that get hits with RICOs. I'm just saying. Let me see how y'all doing in the chat. Okay, make sure there's no issues. We all good, everybody? We good? All right, give me a thumbs up if you guys are good, because I can't see all of the comments and I'm just reading away. Okay. Days later, the Florida Attorney General launched an investigation against Stern's firm and 3 other foreclosure mills. The AG's arguments were similar to those brought in Kent's class action. At first, Stern railed against the media, saying he would defend the company and its reputation against the allegations. Then in September, he dropped out of sight. Equally elusive is Cheryl Salmons, who is no longer with the firm. She left no contact information. I bet. All right. She jumped in that last BMW SUV that he bought her, and she drove to Africa. All right. In October, one by one, the mega banks started to withdraw their cases from Stern's firm. Fannie fired Stern on October 22nd. Stern's staff of 1,200 dwindled to 200. So he lost 1,000 people. DJSP stock, which was worth as much as $13 in April, now traded for pennies. The firm's fall has spawned more chaos in Florida's circus-like foreclosure courts. A slew of homes Stern foreclosed on that sold for $240,000 each during the credit bubble sold at auction as orphan cases for $200. Unfreaking believable. Wow. Recently, even the most infamous Rocket Docket in Lee County, where judges were reported to have signed off on a foreclosure every 30 seconds, ground to a virtual standstill as the Stern firm withdrew from case after case. Some of Stern's remaining lawyers show up to court with greasy hair, fleece jackets, and food-stained clothing. As for Stern, if federal and state prosecutors file criminal charges, he could end up in prison. Meanwhile, Stern's payment on his $12 million line of credit with Bank of America is late. So is the rent on his headquarters. And now he's in default. Well, how's that for karma? Oh, child, that was a lot. But very interesting article. Again, you guys can find this. Just Google David Stern foreclosure king. Okay, that was a lot. Yeah. We're only an hour in. So what I'm going to do is I had some other articles, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to mention some of the same things. I will put links to these articles in the description of the video of the live. Okay. Let me just see. There was one article that was very personal. But yeah, so I'll tell you what, I don't want to take up time reading this because I want to get into these civil and these criminal charges, because Sonya has a rap sheet almost as long as Nesto's. It blows minds. It really, really blows minds. So that's what I'll do. I won't read this because you guys pretty much get the gist of what this man was doing. Okay. He's taking people's homes. Meanwhile, he has a $15 million mansion, 4 Ferraris, and a 130-foot yacht. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. I'll make it available so you guys can kind of read it at your leisure. Okay. I'll do that for you. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our next order of business. Let me just stop sharing this for just a minute so I can see what we're going to do next. Let me just check in the chat and see how you guys are doing. Sunshine Blazing said the article was very interesting. Yep, old school Nixie. He lived in 16,000 square foot mansion on the Atlantic Intercoastal Waterway in Fort Lauderdale. When did she work there? Okay, let me pull it back up. She claims, okay, it's alleged, okay, because Boneytail, she's not always truthful. And hang on a second, because StreamYard just froze. I'll tell you when she worked there. So she worked there from, here, I have it on my screen. She claims she worked there from May 2008 to June 2009. All right. So she might have worked there during that period when they went from 1,200 employees down to 200. Okay. Yeah, here it is. She says she worked there from May 2008 to June 2009. So let me see if let me just see what was the last date this article mentioned, if they mention any dates. Because sometimes you can match things up by the date. Yeah, so she worked there actually. If her dates, if she's telling the truth about her dates, then she worked there when there were 12 and he had hired the 1,200. I'm looking at the dates now in the article. It says in 2008 and 2009, he was trying to keep the chaos inside the firm a secret, and he'd hired all these young ladies. And so, yeah, she was there. She was there around that time. She was definitely there around that time. Okay, so I need, oh, this is a lot. I need a minute, y'all. All right. We're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to look at 5 criminal cases that she has. There are 34 civil cases. We're going to do the criminal cases first because they're short, quite interesting. The civil cases, it's a lot more cases and it's even more interesting. But I'm going to take just a quick little break. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Again, guys, I've been talking about it. Mother's Day is right around the corner. So you know what you need to do, right? You need to go over to Butters and Black Soap, and you need to order something for your mom, your sister, your daughter, all these special women in your life. They have some very amazing products. If you're dealing with dry skin, if you're dealing with issues with blotchy skin, they have natural products. This is what their raw shea butter looks like. You just let it melt in your hand. All right. I haven't tried this yet. It's on the way because I can't get the whipped shea butter anymore because it's a seasonal product. But of course, I always talk about their African black soaps because I love them. And they source their African black soap from Ghana, bring it here. They remake it with all types of ingredients. This is the triple shea butter one. And so here's what the raw shea butter looks like when you receive it. They also have a number of oils for your hair, skin, and nails. So if you're trying to get your hair, skin, and nails healthy, you definitely want to get you some jojoba oil, some argan oil, some rose facial oil. When I tell you their products are everything, and you guys have been around, so you already know what my favorite product is, the sea moss and argan oil body cream. I can't get enough of it. It smells amazing. It's non-greasy. And if you have cracked, dry skin, this is what you want. So go ahead over to their website, shut it down, use code wisdom for a 15% discount. All right, and keep sharing your testimonials. I've heard back from a lot of you that you guys love the products. Your husbands love the products. I think that's amazing, and I will let you guys know when I'm headed over to the store to do a sneak peek inside of Butters and Black Soaps. Don't their products look nice? There's nothing like some natural products that don't have chemicals in it. I wish I had known years ago about these products because they're doing Wisdom's Daughter skin good, honey. All right, let's get back into our secrets and lives on Boneytail. Wow, she got into a lot at a very young age. Okay, I'm going to talk about it shortly, but I'll share one thing with you now. One of her civil cases occurred when she was a minor. And so she got a taste of civil action and just civil everything. And she was just civil ever since. Okay, that's what happened. She just been civil ever since. All right, let me share my screen and let's get into these criminal charges that she has. And there are some names that I mentioned earlier that are going to sound very familiar to you in just a moment. So let me see. Where is it on my screen? Okay, here we go. This is it. Okay, can y'all see? Okay, very good. I don't know. I'll try to make this bigger. Let's see if I can make it bigger so you guys can see. Is that going to work? Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, it works a little bit. All right. So let's look at the case from February 6, 1992. We're going to go from the earliest case to the most recent. Okay. So 1992. All right. Hold on a second. Let me refresh. Look, it's already auto-populated. Okay, so case number CR 92-27807-6A, State of Ohio versus Sonya Durham. This case was regarding receiving stolen property. The first thing I want you to notice is who are her co-defendants? Trisha Durham, okay? Now, I don't know how and why she got her sister involved, but whatever she was doing, Sissy was involved, and somebody named Tracy Knox, okay? So they are involved in this case, which she pleaded guilty to. All right, so she got out on bond. Okay, she had to pay $1,000 to get out on bond. Okay, so she got a bond. She didn't have an issue getting a bond. All right, let's look at the docket. All right, I got to read from the bottom. Let me see. Can you guys see this? Okay, I don't know how much you can see, but I'm going to read it. All right, so I won't read all of this because we have a lot of cases to go through, but I'll read the important parts. So she was advised of her constitutional rights and her right to counsel. This was June 30th, 1992. Okay. She acknowledged that she received a copy of the indictment. All right. There was a motion for discovery. You know, she's always talking about, you got to put in a motion for discovery. There was a motion for discovery on January 1st, 1992. And then on August 11th, 1992, it says, now comes the prosecuting attorney on behalf of the state of Ohio and the defendant, Sonya Durham, in open court with her counsel present, was fully advised of her constitutional rights. Thereupon, said defendant retracts her former plea of not guilty heretofore entered, and for plea to said indictment says she is guilty of receiving stolen property, as charged in the indictment, which pleas on the recommendation of the prosecuting attorney is accepted by the court. It is further ordered that said defendant be referred to the probation department for pre-sentence investigation and report. Defendant on same bond, and it's got some other notes there. Okay, so let's see what the outcome was. The defendant herein having on a former day of court entered a plea of guilty to receiving stolen property over $300 as charged in the indictment, was this day in open court with her counsel present. Thereupon the court inquired of the said defendant if he or she had anything to say why judgment should not be pronounced against him or her, and having nothing but what she had already said and showing no good and sufficient cause why judgment should not be pronounced, it is therefore ordered and adjudged by the court that the defendant, Sonya Durham, is sentenced to Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville, Ohio, for a term of 1 year. She must also pay court costs. And then it says execution of sentence suspended. Defendant placed on 2 years probation. She will serve 100 hours of court community service, full employment thereafter, and pay her court costs. So basically, she was sentenced to 1 year, but they gave her a suspended sentence, which allowed her to just do probation. Okay, so she dodged a bullet that time. Just probation, if I'm interpreting this correctly, because I had to look up, I had to Google and schmoogle what was when it says execution of sentence suspended, what did that mean? But she got 100 hours of community service, and she was supposed to have a full-time job to pay her court costs. So that is what she was remanded to do. Okay. So when we look at her, so we can see she is the defendant. She's using an address in Michigan. I'm not sure what this address is. Okay. 23565 Valley View Drive. I need to check to see if that address comes up in her background, but that's the address she gave them. Here's her date of birth, September 15th, 1968. Okay. Her attorney at the time was someone by the name of Edward Sullivan. That was her attorney. Okay. So that is case number 1. Let's move to case number 2. Case number 2 was filed on, sorry, let me just go back. Okay, the filing date was April 15th, 1992. So 2 months later, she's in trouble again. 2 months later, she's in trouble again. Oh, let me go back to that one because I forgot. Trisha and somebody named Tracy were also involved. Let's look at their cases. Okay, let's look at Trisha. Okay, so Trisha, hers was looked like it was nolle pros. She also pleaded guilty. She had $1,000 bond. What a waste of money, I'm telling you. So in her case, I'm not going to read all of this. I'm just going to read to you what the judgment was for. So she was ordered and adjudged by the court, sentenced to pay $150 fine and court cost. Okay. And her time to pay, she was given until November 11th, 1992 to pay the $150. So that's basically what her penalty was. Okay. She pleaded guilty. She pleaded out. Initially she entered a plea of not guilty. And then it looks like she changed that plea. Okay. So she changed the plea. You're going to see a lot of that. She retracted her plea from not guilty to guilty. And it was for receiving stolen property less than $300. Okay. So that was that. Let's go back and look at Tracy X Knox. I don't know who this person is, but I can tell you that she was born in 1968. So how old would she have been here? Let me see, 78, 88. Okay, so she was probably around the same age as Sonya. She's what, 20, 24, something like that. Okay, so same thing. Nolle pros. She ended up pleading guilty, and I believe the same thing. She had to pay a fine of $150, so she escaped jail time. Okay, she had to pay $150 in court fines, and she was also given till November 11th to pay. And she also changed her story from not guilty to guilty. Okay. And then now they have different lawyers. Her lawyer was somebody named Charles Webster. That was her lawyer. Okay. They all seem to have different lawyers, which was interesting. And pay attention to these lawyers because they're going to come up again. Trisha's lawyer was someone named Regis McGann. Okay. So that was that. Let's move on to her next one. Okay. So again, April 15th, 2 months later, she's in trouble again. This time is for theft. Okay. She pleaded guilty. The event date was June 23rd, 1992. She had to pay $2,500 to get out of jail. At least she got a get out of jail card. All right. So let's see what Phony Tail was up to. Okay. Again, we have a lot to cover tonight, so I'm not going to read all of this. But initially, she put in a plea of not guilty. Let's see. Then she changed her plea to guilty of theft for less than $300 with prior conviction. charged in the indictment. She was ordered to probation department for pre-sentencing, and let's see what her sentence was. Okay. So Sonya Durham is sentenced to Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville, Ohio, for a term of 1 year. She must pay court costs, and then there was an execution of sentence suspended. Defendant placed on 2 years probation. She had to serve 100 hours of court community service, full-time employment after, and pay those costs. Now, if there are any lawyers in the building, because it's 551 of y'all in here, awesome. If there's any lawyers in the building, or I don't know if Pam is Pam here. Pam might be busy. I'm going to ask Pam, because if I read it correctly, when I Google and schmoogle this, when it says execution of sentence suspended, it means that basically they were going to give her 1 year, but instead they're going to say, well, your sentence is going to be 1 year, but we're just going to give you 2 years probation and community service. So again, she dodges another bullet the second time. Okay. Let's see who her attorney was this time. This time it's Warren R. Pearl. That's the defense. That's the attorney. Okay. And she's using this same weird address, 23565 Valley. You know, let me just look that up real quick. Let me look that up real quick and see what this address is. I'm just curious now. This address is not familiar to me, although she does have a Michigan address in her background. I just want to see, is there a house there? Is there anything there? Oh, there's a picture of it. Okay. Well, let me show you guys. Here's a picture of the house that she is claiming in these court documents. Now, I don't know if she really lived here or not, but this is the house that she's claiming on these documents, Michigan. Okay. This is where she claims she was living. People can lie. But anyway, all right, let me go back to where we were. Let's keep pushing. Okay. So she dodges a bullet a second time. But that's not good enough for Ponytail, because she just continues to get in more trouble. Next, December 30th, 1993. What happened here? So now, this also was a theft. Nole pros. She pleaded guilty. Okay, she had to pay $1,500 to get out of jail. All right. And I'm going through this quickly because we got a lot of civil cases to go through. Let's see who, well, we'll get to her attorney in a second. Okay. So let me scroll down and see what this was. So on January 18th of 1994, her bond was set at $1,500. She originally entered a plea of not guilty. They read her rights. The 26th to the 21st, they put in the motion for discovery. Let's see. So now comes the prosecuting attorney on behalf of the state of Ohio and the defendant, Sonya Durham. She's with her counsel present, fully advised of her constitutional rights. Attorney Donald Butler and prosecutor Michael Zidar present. Wait a minute. That name is awfully familiar. Donald Butler. Isn't that the person she says she worked for? Well, it sure is. Hold on a second. Oh, you know what? You guys can't see this. So hold on just a minute. Let me get another screenshot of this so you guys can really see it for real, because it looks like it's cut off. It's definitely cut off. Okay, hang on a second, because I want you guys to see what it is. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to see what it is. I want you to see what she put down in her LinkedIn as where she worked. So don't take my word for it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. All right, let me just load this up to StreamYard really quickly, and then I'll show you guys. So I found that very interesting that this lawyer that she said she worked for is now, is defending her. Let me take this comment down. This comment's been there for a long time. Okay, so you see it, right? You see that? Donald Butler and Associates, December 1997 to January 28. So during this is before she worked there. Before she worked there, this man is her attorney. Donald Butler is her attorney before she worked here. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Very, very suspicious. Why would you hire somebody that's constantly in trouble? I don't know. I don't know what kind of law firms this lady gets involved with, but let's keep going. And so her attorney, Donald Butler, on the recommendation of the prosecutor, indictment amended to delete 3 priors. Thereupon, said defendant retracts his or her former plea of not guilty, heretofore entered, and for plea to said indictment says she is guilty of theft of over 300 but less than 5,000. Okay. Now, it says that this is a probationable offense, It is further ordered that said defendant be referred to the probation department for pre-sentence investigation and report. Defendant's original bond continued. The defendant herein, having on a former day of court entered a plea of guilty to theft over 300 but less than 5,000, as amended in the indictment, was this day in open court with her counsel present. The court inquired of the said defendant if she had anything to say why judgment should not be pronounced against her, and having nothing but what she had already said and showing no good sufficient cause why judgment should not be pronounced, it is ordered and adjudged by the court that said defendant, Sonya Durham, is sentenced to Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville, Ohio for a term of 6 months and is to pay cost. Okay. Credit for any time served to calculate time and provide information to Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Okay, so she was here for 6 months. Okay, and she was sentenced on May 25th of 1994. Let's see again. So we see she's the defendant. She's still using this address, and we see that her attorney is the very person that she ends up working for. Very interesting. But that's not enough for Bunnytail. You know, she's like the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going and going, going and going. So next, November 30th. What was the date? Sorry, I'm going too fast. November 30th of 1996. So 3 years later. Okay. Here we go. This one is grand theft, attempted forgery, uttering, and possessing criminal tools, 4 counts. Now, they know they prosed the grand theft and the uttering and possessing criminal tools, but then she pled guilty to attempted forgery. But look at here. She's not alone. Who's her co-defendant? Barbara Waller. Barbara Waller. So I'm just going to click over to Barbara Waller for just a minute since we're talking about it. Okay. Barbara Waller, date of birth, 7/5/1941. Why she got to be a Cancer? 7/5/1941. This woman is in her 80s now. She would have been 55 back then. What is going on with these 55-year-olds out here losing their freaking minds? I don't understand. Barbara J. Waller. I believe this to be the mother of her ex-husband. I believe this is her mother-in-law that she did some stuff with and got into trouble with. Because she's, oh my gosh, she's always doing stuff. Okay. I will go into Barbara Waller's background a little bit later, but I'm looking at the age and I want to say that is probably her ex-husband's mom. Ex-husband's name is Anthony Waller. We're going to get introduced to him in a little bit because I don't know a whole lot about him, but I will share with you what I do know. Okay. I don't have any pictures. Can't help you with that. I don't know what the man looks like. But anyway, let's just keep going. So being that we're here, let's just take a look at what happened with her. So she had to pay $1,000 bond. You can't make this stuff up. Sonya takes down everybody. Sound familiar? Sonya and Nesto have so much in common. They take down everybody with them. Okay, so she was read her rights. They put in a motion for discovery, preset trial for October, and let's read the outcome. So now comes the prosecuting attorney on behalf of the state of Ohio and the defendant, Barbara J. Waller, in open court with her counsel present, attorney William Smith, and prosecutor Jay Gallagher present. So she retracted her former plea of not guilty and entered a plea of guilty to attempted forgery. It says amended in count 2 which pleas on the recommendation of the prosecuting attorney is accepted by the court. On the recommendation of the prosecutor, remaining counts are nulled. Thereupon, the court inquired of the defendant if she had anything to say. She did not. And so it reads, ordered and adjudged by the court that said defendant Barbara J. Waller is sentenced to the Cleveland House of Correction for a term of 3 days. She will pay cost, execution of time suspended, pay courts. Defendant is agreed to sign quit claim deed to Audrey Durham as part of plea agreement. What the fudge? Audrey Durham is one of Sonya's sisters. What did Ponytail try to take? What did she take? Was it a car? She tried to take someone's house? What did she take? I don't know. Don't know. But whatever it was, she agreed to sign a quit claim deed, which means whatever they took, they deeded it back to her. So, as a part of the plea agreement. Okay. Her attorney was someone by the name of William Smith from Beechwood, Ohio. Okay. Again, there's the defendant. Here's the address where she was staying at the time. And I believe she is still physically at that address. All right. Let's switch back over to Ponytail. Okay. Let's switch back over to Ponytail. This is unbelievable. She just doesn't learn her lesson at all. Let's look at her docket. So her bond was set for $2,500. So she bonded out. Okay, now let's see what they sentenced her to. And I believe it was the same. So she changed her plea from not guilty to guilty. They nolle prossed the other charges. And she was sentenced to Cleveland House of Corrections for a term of 3 days. But then the execution of sentence was suspended. So basically all she had to do was pay fees and sign a quit claim deed to Audrey Durham as part of the settlement. Okay, so that was that. They issued it says Capias issued, that's a bench warrant. So a bench warrant was issued to her on October 15th. Okay. Wow. So it just keeps going and going. So she's got a recidivism issue where she just keeps committing the same crimes, but she's not done. She's not done. Of course she's not done because she doesn't know when to stop. Just like she doesn't know when to stop talking on these calls. So now we have April 16th, 1998. Insurance fraud. She was found guilty by a jury. She was not getting out of that one. $2,500 bond was set. Old School Nixie. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Y'all, Old School Nixie just gifted 5 memberships. This queen is such a blessing. Queen, thank you so very much. You already know how this goes. May your gift return back to you tenfold. Y'all welcome our 5 newest wisdom ambassadors to the family because we be kin now. Throw it up in the chat. I've got Eve B, Patrice, Val Baby 921 Cell 504, Onisha Jones, and Loving Life. You all were gifted by Old School Nixie. Please give that queen a huge thank you. And again, for the ambassadors in the building, make sure you make these new wisdom ambassadors feel welcome. And I hope you guys enjoy the membership and that you would decide to continue it on. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Old School Nixie. She is awesome, guys. Awesome woman. All right. So let's take a look at this because this one, she wasn't getting away. Who was her attorney? She had a public defender. She had a public defender. That's who her attorney was. All right. Wonder why she got a public attorney, a public defender. Okay. Now, I don't know if it is this one, but one of these cases. Oh, it's this one. Okay, so I'll get to it. All right, so the bench warrant was issued on April 30th, 1998. So this is just a couple years later. Okay, so they read her rights. They did the motion for discovery in April. Her pretrial was set forth. And so this is another reason why she's like, no, it don't take that long. It don't take that long because in her cases, it was very fast. It was very, very fast to get the discovery, very fast to get her pretrial hearing. Okay. Then we see on August 10th, 1998, motion to withdraw as counsel. Defense counsel Donald Butler's motion to withdraw as counsel is granted. Attorney Jeffrey Slavin's oral motion for continuance of pre-trial to August 17th, 1988. So here we have a pattern of behavior. This is the guy that she ends up working for. Now, I don't understand, first of all, why he even hired her, because he represented her before, and here she is in trouble again. So I guess he helped her out before, he helped her out again, and for whatever reason, he withdrew. Okay, but apparently she has a history of either pissing people off or rubbing people the wrong way, and they're like, you know what, I'm out, deuces, gotta go, bye-bye. Okay, bye. All right, so yeah, he went ghost. He ghosted her. He's like, no, I'm not doing this with you. That's what he said. I'm not doing this with you. So he asked to be removed from the case, and now she ends up with a public defender. And let's see what happens. The defendant herein having on a former day of court was found guilty by jury of insurance fraud. As charged in the indictment was this day in open court with his or her counsel present, her public defender. Okay, it is therefore ordered and adjudged by the court that said defendant Sonya Durham is sentenced to 12 months at Ohio Reformatory for Women, Marysville, Ohio. Defendant to pay cost of a $1,000 fine. Oral motion for appellant bond denied. Credit for time served 6 days, because she spent 6 days in county. This entry taken by Judge Ralph McAllister for Judge William Coyne. Okay. Now look what she tries to do. She puts in a motion for shock probation. Motion for extension of time to fulfill defendant's reply to brief in opposition to defendant's motion for shock probation denied. So the next question you guys are going to ask is, well, what is shock probation? Sorry, I told you I got all these documents. So I'm going to explain to y'all what shock probation is. This is something that's usually offered to people who are like first-time offenders. And what it does is it reduces their sentence. So, for example, they may have been initially given a year. And under shock probation, they may only do 30, 60, or 90 days, and then they get out on probation like that. And so that is what she attempted to get. And they said, and the lie detector test determined you're not getting out. So, yeah, they denied that motion. They basically, they were sick of her. Okay, she's a repeat offender, and I don't even understand why this public defense attorney would public defender would even do that, other than, you know, Phonytail, who thinks that she's a lawyer. She's a wannabe lawyer, because remember, during this time she was working for Donald Butler. Okay, I don't know how she conned him into getting up, you know, getting into his law firm, but she thinks she knows everything, so she probably did what she normally does, trying to tell the lawyer what they should do. That's what she was trying to do, trying to tell the lawyer what they should do. What is this case number? Hold on a second. What is this case number? This is, I have too many. This is CR 3619. Oh, Lord. Okay, starts with 98. So anyway, so that's basically what it means. I was going to pull the article that I pulled on it, but I remembered off the top of my head what it means, because again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just sharing with you guys what I found, and sometimes I gotta Google and schmoogle what some of this means. Okay, because it's absolutely nuts. It really is nuts. So, all right, so that's that. Ohio State, is this it? Yeah, this is it. Let me see. Shock probation. Here we go. Make sure that I did get it to you guys correctly. Okay, shock probation is the U.S. legal policy by which a judge orders a convicted offender to prison for a short time and then suspends the remainder of the sentence in favor of probation. It is hoped that the initial experience of prison will provide an effective deterrent to recidivism. Not in Phonytail's case. It was too little too late. In shock probation, a convicted offender is sentenced to prison and starts serving their sentence. After 3 to 6 months, the judge resentences the prisoner to probation, and the prisoner is released under supervision. Shock probation is usually considered when a prisoner is a first-time offender and a judge believes, given the circumstances of the case, that the prisoner has a chance at reform, which may be enhanced by being released. It's not used in all states. In states where it is used, it is at the discretion of the judge. And so try again. Try again. So that's basically ultimately what she tried to do. She tried to get out of spending a year in jail, and she was denied. She was denied. So that is her interesting criminal history. Now we're going to move into her civil history, and I'm going to jump over to the chat and see what you guys are talking about, because I know you guys are keying and clowning, and I'm missing a lot reading all this. So let me check to see, check the temperature in the room in the chat and see what we got goings on. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see who we got. Bald-headed Heathen said, are we having a single tonight? Oh, you guys are asking for a single. I know it's been a while. The Scorpion, Sonya gonna come for you after this. After this one, she's got nothing to lose now that Nasty Nesto gone. Louisiana lady said it's civil. It's civil. Now I want to know if the food is done yet. He said it's hard out here for a bite. He needs some nutrients. I need some nutrients too. Yes, Sonya the jail lawyer. Absolutely. So the Mercedes she was driving was actually stolen, allegedly. Yes, silver and gold. So Bonitail probably learned a little something about taking people's houses. I bet she did. Old school Nixie. Anisha Jones said, old school Nixie, so much. Thank you so much, and may your gifts return to you tenfold. Absolutely. Academy of Court Reporting closed in 2011. Oh, thank you, Scorpion. Okay, so let's pull that back up. So Academy, this is where she says she got her education, closed in 2011. Okay, and she said that she was there from 88 to 91. Okay, well, again, we have no way to verify right now because the school closed. So she doesn't lie 100% of the time. She just lies a lot, a whole lot. All right, let's look at her civil. Her civil stuff, okay? Because everything is civil with Sonya. It's really civil. One time she said, well, it's criminal, but it's really civil. It's criminal and it's civil. Because she knows a lot about criminal and civil. Do you guys see this? Can you see this? Can you see that? Displaying, let me see if I can make this bigger. Hang on a second. I want you guys to be able to see, okay? I don't have anything to hide from you. This is public record, okay? Y'all not gonna hear me crying about people using my content. Use it. Expand upon it. You know, let me have a key because this is a lot of work. Do you see that? It says displaying 1 through 20 out of 34, matching your search criteria. Okay, that's a lot of records. So we're gonna start at the beginning. Actually, let me see where I'm going to start with this one. I'm actually going to start at the end with one case, and then we're going to go back to the beginning. The case that we're going to start with is Anthony Waller versus Durham Waller. Okay, this is her divorce. Okay, see? Case designation, divorce, no children. All right? So their marriage was disposed on February 14th. Oh, wow, Valentine's Day. Oh, my goodness. It was official on Valentine's Day of 2013. So apparently they got married in 2012 because she says she was married for 4 months. All right. Let's take a look at this docket and see what the docket says. Let's see what it says. So the complainant, which is Anthony Waller, filed for divorce on April. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Scratch what I just said. Scratch what I just said. So they were definitely married in 2012. Okay. It took a long time for the divorce to be processed. So on April 16th, 2012, he filed for divorce, which means they must have been married in January. I don't know when she was married. If anybody knows, you guys can throw it up in the chat. I don't know. Anyway, he paid the deposit amount. Okay. Something about a domestic violence fund. Mutual restraining order to the plaintiff and defendant. What going on here? What in the dysfunction is going on here? Phonytail Bonitail lives in chaos and dysfunction. Her life is dysfunctional. Everything she does is dysfunctional. All right, so they basically both got served. They had hearings, then they were canceled, then they had more hearings, and ultimately it says the final decree to the court was official on February 14th of 2013. Okay. and they refunded the cost of the deposit to Anthony Waller. So her husband filed for divorce, okay? Probably because she's crazy. And they had some domestic violence going on. So they was beating on each other, apparently, because he has a restraining order and she got a restraining order. Yeah. So just want to start with that. Found that very interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's move on to, so that was the last civil case. The very last civil case was her divorce. Interesting. All right, let's go back and let's look at the first one. Let's look at the first one. You see all these addresses? If you guys were on the live yesterday, some of these addresses are going to make sense to you because they're on her background that we looked at yesterday. And give me a second. Let me just jump to the chat and see what's happening over there. Jacqueline Courtney says, Flatback used to clean floors and make coffee at the law firm. Flatback, no. Flatback. There's your cyclical. Swiper, no swiping. Dora the Explorer. Used to clean floors and make coffee at the law firm. I don't understand why felons hang together after they finish their sentence, with Nasty staying in prison. I guess Sonya and Sylvia. Lord have mercy. The Scorpion said, check on real property Cuyahoga and go for the last name. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, let's see what happens when I do that. Real property Cuyahoga Sonya Durham. Let's see what comes up. Oh, property search. Okay. All right, I'm sharing my screen with y'all. Real property search. Let's see. Online property search. I've never been on here, guys, so just bear with me. Let's see. Owner. And let's just put in her name and see what comes up. Oh, okay. Well, that's blank. Okay, hold on a second. Wow, hold on. Let's just look at is it Cuyahoga? Let's look at let's see. Was that house in Shaker Heights? Was the house in Shaker Heights? Because I'm putting in her name and nothing is coming up. Let me put in the address. Let's do that. So what was that address? It was 15. Hold on a second. Let me look at her. Let me go back and look at her background. 1560 something. Hold on, I don't remember. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Excuse me. Address history. 1568 108th Street. Okay, let's put that in. 1568 108th Street. Cleveland, Ohio. Let's see. Okay. Let me take this out. Sorry, y'all. Let me take this out. Okay, let's see. One more time. Address. I want to see what comes up. I mean, I kind of know what's going to come up, but I still want to see what comes up when I put in this address. So just a little detour, just a little detour. Just bear with me. It says no results found. Okay. I'll have to play with this another time because some of these websites are a little funny. What if I put in Janice? I forgot the lady's last name. Hold on. Hold on, this goose. Hold on. Ridgeway. Okay. Let's see if I put in Janice Ridgeway. Nope. Let's just put in Sonya, see what comes up. Anything? Put in Durham. No, I don't. I see her dad. No, that can't be the dad. That must be her brother. That's also named for the dad. I see his name, Quentin Durham, but I don't see Sonya. I don't see Sonya. All right, let's put in Ridgeway. Is it Ridgeway? Am I spelling that right? Am I spelling her name right? It is. Okay. Yeah. Ridgeway Janice. Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is. So this house does not come up under Ponytail. It comes up under Janice Ridgeway. This is Janice's house. I don't know how and why she thinks she's going to take this house. Okay. Am I sharing now? Can you guys see now? Because it took me a minute to find what I was looking for. Let's see, transfers. There's a lot of transfer history here. Let's be nosy. Let's take a peek. All right, so there was a quick claim deed. This transfer date, right. So this was when Ponytail transferred the house back to Janice Ridgeway. That's interesting. Let's go to 2000. So Janice Ridgeway, we did this last night. She gets a warranty deed. Okay, that means she's the true owner of the house because she buys it from Grosset Frederick. Okay, then she sells it to Sonya, warranty deed. Okay, in where's the date? In October of 2005. Okay, so when Sonya says, I've had the house in 2005. Okay, she told the truth in 2005. But apparently she couldn't pay that note. And she did a quick claim deed over just, about a year later over to Janice Ridgeway, who is now the owner again of that house. So, yeah, that's what we got. That is what we got. And the house is not worth what Ponytail said it was. Okay. Thank you so much for the recommendation. I appreciate it. All right. Let's get back over to, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. Where am I? Okay. Let's get back over to what we were looking at here. And let me just make sure you guys can see. Okay. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. The Scorpion. I appreciate it. Thank you. Go Roro said this is more than 5 G's, and I'm sure the courts were in shock. Yeah. Yep. That's why she losing her edges, because she just be doing stuff. She be doing too much, way too much. Okay. So getting back into it, let's look at the first civil case she was involved in. Do you see this? It says Sonya Durham minor, because she was a kid. This is Phyllis Durham versus Dorothy Courtner. Okay. I believe I'm thinking Phyllis is her mom, but this is a tort case. It's a motor vehicle accident that occurred in 1979. So Ponytail was about 11 years old, something like that. Okay. Let's open this up and see what this talks about. Oh, there's no docket. Okay. So here's everyone who was involved, and I'm assuming that they had to sue. They must have sued. So there's Sonya, she's a minor. There's Quentin, there's Audrey, there's Tanya, there's Trisha, there's little Quentin, because I guess Quentin, this is her dad. Okay, so this has got to be her mom. So mom, dad, Audrey, Tanya, Trisha, little Quentin, and then the defendant, Dorothy Courtner. So they were in a car accident and they most likely sued. Okay. It's not a whole lot to see here, but the point is this was her first taste at a civil case, 11 years old. Okay. We suing, and they sued. All right. So now we have 4447 Lee Road, State of Ohio versus Sonya Durham. Let me see how we're doing on time. Okay. I'm going to try to let me put this down. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. It's just that it's a lot. All right. So this was a judgment lien. Okay. In the amount of $4,025. Some of these amounts will be familiar to you from the other day. I'm going to click on all just so that we can get straight to it. I don't have to keep going back and forth. All right. So State of Ohio. And this was a lien. Let me just see what it says here. And let me look at the docket because I thought there was some more here. Okay, so it says judgment for the defendant. Caption plaintiff, release and satisfaction of judgment. Okay, so she paid. So there was a judgment for her. Okay, so she basically she paid. She paid the judgment on that one. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Some of these we're going to go through very quickly because there's not a lot of information here. Okay, I thought there was an address or something listed here, but it's okay. So that was for Lee Road. And I believe that was originally where her dad had his construction school originally before it moved to the garden village. Don't quote me on that because I'm saying it wrong. You guys were on the live last night. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So now we have U.S. Bank National versus Sonya. Foreclosure Marshal of lien. So this is a foreclosure lien in the amount of $243 and $243,206. Lord have mercy. Y'all see the number. Y'all see the number. My brain is shutting down. $243,206.40. There we go. And it was dismissed without prejudice. So this one she was able to get out of. Okay, this one they dismissed. This was for property located that we just looked at 1568. For those of you who weren't on the live yesterday and you want to see what property this is, I'll show you a picture of it real quick. Okay. This house right here that she's trying to say people were offering millions. Her brother talking about, yeah, they were offering millions. There's all people offering the millions. I'll sell it for $600,000. Okay. That she says she owes $310,000 on, which is possible if she hasn't been paying that mortgage and the interest has just been creeping up. But anyway, so dodged a bullet on that one. Let's just look at the docket really quickly. See what this was for. Yeah, so some of these look like this. Okay, and they have other documents here, which is too much for me to open. It's way too much. All right. So apparently they were going to foreclose against this property. Let me see. Foreclosure mediation occurred. This is in 2013. So at this point, Janice Ridgway has the house. Okay. They still have Sonya listed, but she owns the house. She has the house at this point. Okay. Let me just kind of go through and see what was the final answer. So they reviewed it. Defendants Sonya Durham and Janice Ridgway filed an answer in the case, and then they had further review. Reveals that on 11/8/2013, the defendants filed an amended answer to the plaintiff's complaint. No time between October 3rd, 2013 and November 8th, 2013, did the defendant seek leave of court to file an amended answer in this case. Pleading, okay, let me see. So a review of the docket reveals that the plaintiff has perfected service on all defendants, yada, yada, yada. So it's a lot of jargon. Motion for default is set for a hearing. So they had a hearing the next year in February. And let's see what so there's a lot of back and forth on this. They were about to lose this house. They had to do a land appraisal, all this other stuff. And ultimately, it says notice of sale and approval of appraiser's fee. The sale is scheduled for May 27, 2014 at 9 a.m. Yeah, it sounds like they were about to lose this house. That's what it sounds like. Order of sale, they had a parcel number, all of that. Record of sale attached and returned. And there are several cases that are attached to this one with this particular house. Okay. Plaintiff's motion to set aside judgment in part and to dismiss is granted. The judgment and decree entered by the court on 3/21/14 are vacated. The court's holding concerning the reformation of legal descriptions in the mortgage and prior deed remains unchanged. Further, the counts of 1 and 2 of the complaint are dismissed without prejudice. Okay. So again, they both dodged a bullet. But she was about to lose this house. That's ultimately what this means. She was about to lose this house. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Next one has to do with DCFS Trust versus Sonya Durham. And let me see. This is another judgment lien. And let's see if this is connected to the same one, because I told you guys. Okay, so this is just a judgment lien. She had to pay $7,032. Okay, she was the debtor, and this is for DCFS Trust, some type of financial services, DC Financial Services, whatever that stands for. Okay, so what that tells me is that Sonya don't pay her bills. Okay, she's worse than Shirley, absolutely worse than Shirley. Pamela, the wire designer, said it's not going to come up under her name. If you go to the Cuyahoga County Recorder's Office, it will list the properties she was involved in as well as the mortgage. Tell the Truth said, oh, what a tangle web you weave. Sonya will always come back to bite you. Is she ready for this? Nope. They said, oh, we hope Dre is watching. I wouldn't go into business with somebody like this. Are you kidding me? U.S. National Bank Association versus Sonya. This is probably the same case that's connected to this one. So I'm not going to read because it's the same thing. They were trying for a couple of years, quite a few years, to foreclose on this house, and they were able to get it dismissed. So let's move on to this FBO, IRA, George Ashton, etc. et al. Versus Joseph Cheps and Sonya Durham. I mean, she's on everything. She's the debtor. She's on everything. Oh, my goodness. So this was a judgment amount of $58,644.86 rendered by Cuyahoga. Let me see. Listed the debtor. So she owes somebody money, and they put in a judgment for her, and she had to pay it. She had to pay it. So this is another situation where, she's running away from, or attempting to run away from, some of her responsibilities. This was a creditor. So it looks like she owed these people, she owed these people money. All right. So that was that one. I'm not going to bore you with all the legal jargon because it's a lot. And I got more for you. I'm not trying to put anybody to sleep. Then we have Bank of America National Association versus Sonya Durham. Let me see what this one is about. This one might be, again, related to this house. This is another foreclosure lien on the house. And again, it was dismissed without prejudice. So we will go ahead and skip over that one. It's the same thing. Then we have, it just keeps going. James Rokakis, treasurer, versus Joseph Cheps et al. Let's see if this is relations to the house. Okay, this is a tax foreclosure in the amount of $4,562. So they were going to foreclose on her property for $4,562. This is a property located at 104th Street in Cleveland. So this must be one of those 17 properties that she claimed to own. All right. And it looks like it was sold. Confirmation of sale. OSJ notice issued. Okay, so order of sale with report of sale attached. Let me see. Land sold to City of Cleveland, foreclosure. I wonder if she lost this house. She might have lost this one. On this date, March 4th, 2011, order of sale issued to sheriff, non-productive land. The above captioned case is scheduled for sheriff sale on 4/4/2011 at 10 a.m. at the Justice Center Auditorium at 1200 Ontario Street in Cleveland, Ohio. If the property is not sold at the first sale, a second sale at the same location will be scheduled for April 18th. Okay, well, sounds to me like she lost this one because I'm seeing an order of sale. That's what it says here. April 22nd, order of sale. Land sold to the city. Wow. Foreclosure clerk fee. Cost of deed preparation. Okay. Sums complaint. I'm just reading some of the stuff that they have here. I'm skipping through it because it's just a lot of stuff repeated over and over and over. Okay. So it looks like they looks like they foreclosed and they sold it. So there you go. Good job, Sonya. Good job. Good job, Phony Tail. She can't hold on to anything. She can't hold water. She can't hold food. She can't hold anything. All right. Bank of America National Association versus Sonya. Let's take a look at this one. This says inactive. Okay. Once again, this is connected to the house. So as you can see, they were trying several times, several different cases trying to take this house. All right. Chrysler, Lord, what's happening with Chrysler? She has a judgment lien from Chrysler Financial Services versus Sonya Durham, aka Sonya Waller. All right, let's see what the docket says. Judgment in the amount of $7,830.12 rendered by Cleveland Municipal Court. Judgment lien case. Creditor is Chrysler Financial Services, and that's her debtor. Okay, so apparently she owed these people some money, and she had to pay them. And Chrysler must be some type of vehicle. So once again, she doesn't pay her bills, and she got the nerve to talk about Shirley when you got all this going on. If you don't sit your behind down somewhere and be quiet. I saw something that said American Fire and Casualty Company, Sydney and Sonya Durham. Here she go involving her family members again. American Fire and Casualty Company. Let's see what this is about. Lord. This is a judgment amount, $1,828.19, rendered by municipal court. So this was a case. So she's got two cases on this American Fire and Casualty judgment lien case file. So she had a lien against her for that. Wow. So she just be doing things. Yep. American Fire and Casualty Company. So I don't know if this is an insurance company. I'm not sure. But this involves Sydney, another relative, because she has to bring everybody down with her. I can't believe that she got caught up in theft and all this stuff with her mother-in-law. That's crazy. A pimp named Nasty Nesto. Nestos, what's going on? Thank you so much for the super chat. A pimp named Nasty Nesto said, a little bird told me ex-wife Shirley scrubbed edge internet off my coke dealing past. Allegedly, I tend to network best with scammers. That's going to be a separate live. That's going to be something we probably going to get into that tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be a different live. Okay. Some of y'all like, wait, what's that about? Don't worry. Y'all find out tomorrow. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel in advance so that y'all don't get locked out of the conversation. But Queen, may your gift return back to you tenfold, and absolutely, because I've got some information to share with y'all, because the streets is talking about Shirley Strawberry. She ain't as innocent as she pretended to be. And there's a jail call where she makes a comment. And when I tell you, as soon as I heard it, it bothered me, because I'm like, wait a minute, that don't sound right. That ain't how that go. Yeah. So she you can't throw somebody under the bus if they didn't do anything. Nesto wasn't pointing the finger. He wasn't pointing the blame. He wasn't trying to frame her. Nobody said, oh, he tried to frame Shirley. What we said is he threw her under the bus. You only throw somebody under the bus when they've done something, right? And yeah, where you at, Dre? Speak to us and tell us what you think about Sonya. I want to know what he think about all of this, everything. That's what I want to know. Okay, so here we go with another debtor. Which debtor is this? This is the same company again as she owes money to. This is another judgment. Okay, so this must be another. Is this another property? Let's see. Hang on a second. Let's see what this one is. Judgment in the amount of $58,644.86. Wow. Okay. To FBO IRA George Ashton. They've got the account number here. Equity Trust Company. So allegedly she owed them money, or she had a property. Maybe it has to do with this property at 842. Because remember, she said she lost a lot of property. She had to let them go. So that might have been one of them properties that they put a lien on, and she had to let it go. Like Frozen, okay? Y'all want a Frozen single tonight? Let me see what we got. Hold on a second. She had to let it go. So here's an explanation of what happened. Did they sell this? Okay, so court, let me see. Judgment rendered. Wow. So they put a lien on this property, and they're not giving me the property address. But either way, she owed these people money. Okay. That's what you're going to see over and over and over. All right. She owed everybody money. Lisa S gifted 10 memberships. Lord have mercy. Lisa S, Queen, thank you so much. And may your gift return back to you tenfold. Y'all, we got 10 new wisdom ambassadors. Let's welcome Lois Williams. Any relation to Nesto Williams? Shawana Russ, NP, Missy 333, Carol Fireall, Ty the Plug, Shea Baby 78, Faux New York Tale, if I'm saying that right. Beautiful and Queen and Golden Pearl. All of you guys have been gifted. Welcome officially to the Wisdom family. Y'all throw it up in the chat because you know how this go. When you become a member over here, we be kin now. Make these new Wisdom ambassadors feel welcome and duck them into the Wisdom family picnic. Make sure you get their drink orders. All I need to know is who's doing a liquor store run because it's 9 o'clock and y'all call it the package store. I'm used to calling it the ABC store. I don't know what time the ABC store closed, but make sure y'all get your drink orders in because somebody said they was going to make me a gin and juice. I don't know who it was, but I could use it right about now. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. And please give a huge thank you to Lisa S, who gifted you that membership. And I hope that you guys enjoy and take advantage of all those goodies for the next 30 days. And then at that point, you can decide if you would like to take over the membership, which of course I hope you do. All right. Oh, what's this? It's an image? What's this? Oh, okay. This is just some documents. They have some documents attached on here. Okay. So that was another property, okay, that she couldn't hold on to, right? Everything falls through her fingers like smoke, okay? You ever try to hold sand and it just falls through your fingers? You know, that's everything Sonya touched. She couldn't hold on to that GoFundMe. She can hold on to that. So this was another foreclosure lien in the amount of $66,500 that was dismissed. This was for a property at 9708 Adams Avenue. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one. Now, it looks like they dismissed it without prejudice. They were trying to take this property as well. Motion for default judgment is set for hearing on 9/2/2008. All right. So they were trying to take this house. They were definitely trying to take this house. Another one. Complainant for money foreclosure and other equitable relief. Okay. It is ordered by the court that this cause be referred to the court magistrate to try the issues of law and fact arising therein. So, David Chavez. She doesn't have good luck with people named David. I'm just saying. But it looks like she was able to get out of this one. That's what it looks like. Because it says that it was, let's see. By the separate and distinct instrument, the court adopts the magistrate's decision dated 9/25/2008. The attached hereto and incorporated therein grants the following relief on the issue submitted to the court. Judgment for plaintiff and against defendants, Artisan Properties, LLC, Sonya Durham, Joseph Cheps in the sum of $66,500 with interest thereon at the rate of 8% per annum from 9/1/2006. Decree of foreclosure for plaintiff. Plaintiff may order the sheriff's sale property located at 97 Adams. And it says, okay, the court finds there is no cause for delay. Ooh, but why does it say dismissed? Okay, so the motion of defendant James Rakakis as treasurer to vacate judgment and to dismiss the complaint is granted. So she was definitely about to lose that house, and then she was able to get it dismissed. Okay, she's a little squiggly one. So she knows a little bit about getting out of stuff. Too bad she couldn't help Nesto get out of jail. That would have been nice. No get out of jail free card for Nesto. National, listen to me. National City, National City Bank. This is a debtor. This is a debt. Judgment lien in the amount of, let's see. Let's look at who the parties were. So this is a creditor she owes money to. Let's see what the docket was. So judgment in the amount of $3,388.46 that she had to pay at 8% interest. Wow. I wonder if Nesto was able to pull all this up on his little machine. Do you remember he liked to talk about that radio where he can put people's information in and then he could find out all about them? I wonder if he looked up Phonytail. Motor credit companies. So she just buys cars and don't pay for them. Sound familiar? Bankruptcy. She requested a stay. Okay. Well, let's see what the docket says. Let's see. The court being advised that Sonya Durham, aka Sonya Waller, has filed a bankruptcy petition, case number 07-18205. Proceedings in this case are stayed, and the case is removed from the active docket. So she owed money to these people, but because it was part of a bankruptcy case, she got a pass. Is that what you're telling me? The court, can y'all see this? You probably can't even see what I'm pulling up here. Okay. The court being advised that Sonya Durham, it's the same thing. Okay, so this is just a petition. This was Ford Motor Credit. So apparently she had a vehicle that she wasn't paying for, but she's like, no, I'm filing for bankruptcy in 2007. I'm filing for bankruptcy. So I get a stay. You can't touch me. All right, can't touch this. Yep. So she did the you can't touch this. That's what she did on that one. Household Realty Court. Oh my goodness. What is this about? This is another foreclosure lien. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Wow. What property is this for? Let me take a look at that one first. So this is for a property located at, this is the 842 Montford. So basically, all of her houses ended up in foreclosure or she had to sell them. She couldn't hold on to anything. This is what we're going to see over and over and over again. And she talks about this just a little bit, but she makes it seem like it's something else. She talked about these 17 properties that she owned. The interesting thing about this is that it mentions John Doe, name unknown, spouse of Sonya Durham. So they must have lived in this 842 Montford house because it came up on his background as well, this same house. And so let's see what was the final result. Motion for default judgment is set for hearing on July 19, 2007. P1 Household Realty Court motion for summary judgment filed 6/8/2007 is unopposed and granted. Okay, magistrate's decision filed and notice issued. The court adopts the magistrate's decision attached hereto and incorporated herein judgment for the plaintiff against defendant Sonya Durham in the sum of $135,381.22 with interest thereon at a rate of 11.75% per annum from September 1st, 2006 through January 31st, 2007, and then at a rate of 12.5% per annum from January 1st, 2007. Decree of foreclosure for the plaintiff. Well, there you go. They done foreclosed on that one. And she's trying to open businesses. So now you guys understand why none of her businesses have ever succeeded. Now she has how many cases with Deutsche Bank? I haven't looked at any of these yet. So let's just take a look. Because I'm seeing the Bentwood Avenue house. I'm seeing Montford House, East 100th Street, Yale Avenue, Rexford Avenue. So here's these 17 properties that she owns. All right. Foreclosure. Same thing. $81,534. Let's just see what the end result was. Order of sale recorded. So looks like they foreclosed on the house and then sold it. Is that what happened? So she had a motion of default judgment set. Default hearing was held. The court adopts the magistrate's decision hereto and incorporated judgment for the plaintiff against the defendant, Sonya Durham, in the amount of $81,534.03. Notice of sale and approval of appraiser's fees. The sale is scheduled for 6/4/2007, so she lost that house. Sheriff having sold the property described in the order of sale issued to him, the court being satisfied of the legality of the sale and that the notice of sale was in all respects in conformity to law, approves and confirms the same and directs the sheriff to execute and deliver to Deutsche Bank National Trust Company. All right, she lost that one. That's another house. Are y'all keeping track of all these losses? This is the house on Benwood Avenue. Because see, her background check will tell you what she had, but it's not going to tell you all these addresses. I don't even need to go through all these because they're probably all going to be the same. I'm going to click on it, but I'm not going to read them all because I already know what we're going to find. 842 Montford. It's a foreclosure. It's a foreclosure. And they probably sold that one too. Yep. House sold to Deutsche Bank. She lost everything. Wow. She lost absolutely everything. All right, 842. Let's see. I'm going to go right to the foreclosure lien. Marshall, yep. Order of sale, sold to Deutsche Bank. She lost that one in the amount of what? 32? No, this is the same one, 81. Wow. She had a lot of houses. I guess that maybe she somehow financed. Here's another one, 65,987. Let's see what happened here. Order of sale recorded to Deutsche Bank. Confirmation of sale. Decree of confirmation, the sheriff having sold the property. Let's see which one this was. This is a house at East 100th Street. She lost that house. You know, I would feel like a really crappy person if I was her. Like, can she do anything right? Can she do anything right? Let's look at the Yale house. This property is located Yale Avenue, docket, sheriff having sold the property. And the property went to Deutsche Bank. Wow. Let's see what I want to see what the amount was. 22,000. Okay. So she had a bunch of little properties. Remember when she talked about how she wanted to purchase like 2 blocks? She wanted to purchase 2 blocks of land so she could like rehab the houses. And she said there was a gas station nearby and all this other stuff. Sonya sold Nesto a pipe dream. One scammer trying to scam the other. Order of sale. Sheriff's having sold the property, again delivered to Deutsche Bank. And the list just goes on and on. Wells Fargo. What's happening with Wells Fargo? Foreclosure. Wow. Damn, lady. Decree of confirmation, the sheriff having sold this property and this property. I'm going really fast because it's just a lot. This property is the one on Belmar Road. This is another one. So when we talk about these 17 properties that she had, they all got foreclosed on. I think she managed to salvage one, maybe. It looks like they all got foreclosed on. East Boulevard. What is this? I'm not sure what this is. Certified. Let me see. Defendant. Okay, let me see. Well, the sheriff got involved. Okay, complaint with jury demand, file summons. And here's Donald Butler again, listed on here. Notice issued, because he dealt with her with some of these civil cases. All right, I'm not really sure what this one is, but you see he represented her. And he represented her sister. So I don't know if this was, they're the plaintiffs. So this might have been something against a tenant who was trying not to pay rent, because it says Sonya Durham versus Stanley Krasnick. So Stanley Krasnick was pulling a Shirley and Nesto and was living in one of these houses and not paying rent. And Donald Butler was her attorney. And this was in, what year was this? What year was this? This was in 1997. Now remember, she started working for him in December of 97. And this was right before she started working for him. So I don't know what kind of, practices he has, but I would think that that's a conflict of interest. Wouldn't you? I would. Lee Road, Trans South Financial Corp versus Sonya. This is, it says, I don't know what this stands for. Okay. Whatever it was dismissed without prejudice. So let's just take a look at what it was. Complaint, motion for possession of personal property filed. Okay, so they're trying to take something. Okay, so blank on the 17th day of September 1994, I served the name within Durham, Sonya, leaving a true and certified copy thereof with all endorsements thereon. Motion for possession of personal property. Dismissed without prejudice. Okay, whatever this was, it was dismissed, but it was it was Trans South Financial Corp against Sonya. So this is probably some bill or something that she didn't pay. Who knows? This lady, sums complaint certified. Yeah. So not too sure about this one, but it doesn't matter. We know that she owes money anywhere and everywhere. And had the nerve to be looking down her nose at Shirley and at the teacher and at the other victims. Last one, Trisha Durham et al. Versus Charles Shelton. So this is something to do with Sonya and Trisha. Let's see. Oh, this is an accident. This is an accident that occurred in 1993. This was a motor vehicle accident. Let's see what this is about. The filing date was 1993. Let me see. It says inactive, and it says it was dismissed with prejudice. Let's see what this is all about. Here we go. Donald Butler once again. Donald Butler is helping out his, and this is from 1993. So he started assisting her in 1993. This would have been just a couple of years after her boyfriend shot her 3 or 4 times. I don't know how many times it was. She was shot in the neck, the stomach, the arm. Sonya actually said on Tasha K interview that she was shot, but the bullets never exited, and she had internal bleeding, and she was moving around trying to get to her baby when it was really the sister's baby. Oh my gosh, the lies that she told. Notice to take this deposition of plaintiffs Trisha and Sonya Durham. So this is something to do with a motor vehicle accident. I don't know if they sued for this, but it was settled and dismissed. So this must have been a lawsuit. This was a lawsuit. Okay. Because she had sued before, so she got a little taste. So yeah, that was a lot. Okay, and we already covered this one. That was the divorce. So I'm gonna go ahead and come out of here, and I'm gonna see what y'all talking about. Pamela, the wire designer, said, because she said Kai rhymes with Cuyahoga. What? Oh, okay. Is Cuyahoga is the pronunciation? I don't know. I'm saying Cuyahoga. All right, I'm speaking Nesto to you. Is it Cuyahoga? Okay. Y'all got to get me straight. If y'all know, y'all got to tell me how to pronounce these things. I can't be out here looking crazy. All right. Let me go to once again, thank you guys for all the gifted memberships. Welcome again to all the new ambassadors. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. We usually have more of a kiki over here and clowning and whatnot because there is no shortage of content when it comes to PSFP and these doggone phone calls. But I wanted to take a break because what I found, like I said, it just put a lot of things in perspective to this one over here. Wonder if she cons people out of these properties and then loses them. Possibly. She thought that she was going to con Miss Jan out of her house, but I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked because like Nesto said, that ain't how that worked. That ain't how that worked. She was probably stealing something when he shot her. Oh, no. Sonya is low down in the OPP in real estate and married men. Absolutely. Sonya is a bum, just like her man. And she was trying to ruin her dad's good reputation and name. Oh. Hold on a second. Let me just check something for you guys real quick. Hold on. Kaya. Okay. Oh, somebody was texting me to help me with the pronunciation. I see all the messages. You guys are like Cuyahoga. NP, are you speaking in tongues? Okay, that's what it sounds like. Okay, Cuyahoga County. That's what it sounds like. You speaking in tongues over there? Cuyahoga Shababa. All right, I got it now. Cuyahoga. I definitely got it. And I definitely wasn't looking at my messages. I'm sorry, guys. We talking Nesto. We speaking in tongues. Cuyahoga. I got it. 18 times. Cuyahoga. I was getting to a part. I was getting to it. Hold on a second. I got it now. Cuyahoga. I got it.
Oh, Sophia home now. Sophia home. Things gonna be changing around here too. Too much racket going on around this house. Pass me them peas. Oh, Sophia home now. Sophia home. Things gonna be changing.
Things gonna be changing around here because I gotta learn how to say Cuyahoga. Black Swan said, "At Wisdom, I'm wondering if these properties were purchased when she threw foreclosures as a connection with the foreclosure firm." Let's see, because it's hard to keep up with all this. So she was at the foreclosure firm. She says between May 2008 and June 2009. And a lot of what we looked at, hold on a second, let me just get to some of these dates again. A lot of what we looked at, though, I mean, the years range, 1997. So some of this might have been before. Let me just check one thing for you guys. Hang on a second. Let me just check one thing, because I printed out a lot of this stuff. Hold on. Let me just run through these dates real quick. Oh, this is the criminal stuff. Wait a minute. That's not what I'm looking for. Hang on. Look at these dates real quick and just see if any of them coincide. Because I think a lot of this was probably prior to. This was probably prior to. And it looks like it was. See if I can find anything that was around that time. Because that's actually a really good question in terms of all this foolishness. So let's see. Let's see. And like I told you, I didn't even print out all of it. I said, I'm going to get paper cuts trying to print out all this stuff. 2007. No, from what I'm seeing, it looks like the majority of this was, well, some of it could have been during that time. Yeah, that one was. That's one. That's one. Let's see. Okay, I found one with some dates that coincide. I'm not sure if that's let me see. That's not a purchase of the house. But see, the thing is, it doesn't let me know. It doesn't let me know when she purchased these homes. This is just telling me when they went into a foreclosure or she filed bankruptcy. But probably had she worked for this company before she was doing all this stuff, she might have learned something that she could have used, because it looks like she didn't learn much at all. This tax foreclosure against this, what property is this? Let me see. The tax foreclosure one. Oh my gosh, this thing is long. And this was the property at 104th Street. Yeah, this was from 2010. This was after. So I don't know when she acquired these properties, but it looks like she might have acquired them before she went to work for this firm, allegedly. I have to say allegedly because I haven't called them. Well, I can't call because the firm doesn't exist anymore, duh. But I kind of believe her. I kind of believe her when she says she works for them. Kind of believe her. Surely she's not putting down payments. With what money? I don't think so. Deutsche Bank, Moscow, London, and New York branches laundered $10 billion out of Russia. Ooh. When Nesto Nasty hit that he got a bum, when Nasty Nesto hit that he got a bum that never leave, they stuck together. Listen, show is she ain't trying to leave. She is not trying to leave, talking about she done with Nesto. We knew that was a lie. Wouldn't it be funny if Sonya set up Nesto? I don't know what she would get out of it, though. Yeah, calling people broke. The audacity. I don't know what she would get out of. I don't know what she would get out of that, to be honest with you. I really don't know what would be the benefit of that, at least at this point. I don't know. She was probably stealing something when he shot her. We said that earlier. That was funny. That was funny. She's just a bum, just like her man. Absolutely. And getting to, I know someone watches YouTube in, your comment got cut off, Onisha. I'm not sure what you were trying to say. At Wisdom's Daughter, was the lawyer attached to the firm? I'm aware that many people are bottom feeders that prey on these homes and purchase them. So the lawyer Donald Butler, his specialty is, hold on a second, it's criminal law and, hold on, I'll tell you right now, criminal law and, where is it? And personal injury, okay? That's what he specializes in. Criminal defense and personal injury. But she was using him to help her with civil cases and, you know, and other things. I guess she figured, you know. So he did some of everything. And it says he's been licensed for 42 years. And I checked, he's currently licensed. And he went to law school at Cleveland State University. This is the lawyer that she worked for, the Donald Butler, not the one with the 16,000 square foot home and all of that. Deutsche. Yep. It's pronounced Deutsche. Her balls big calling. Her balls are big calling people broke with those fashion she wears. I can't. Wisdom's daughter over here talking. Nesto, hide the henny. Listen, I might have had one or two. Allegedly, because I ain't got my camera on. Black Swan said, "Thank you so much. Your research is very." I don't know why the comments are getting cut off. Okay, so going back to Anisha's comment, I know someone watches YouTube in jail and they telling him that lady comes to see you ain't itch. No, she's not. She certainly is not. So all that big talk, and she was talking, you know, over there, and she got one house after another that was foreclosed on. Okay. It's a doggone shame. It really, really is. It's despicable. And you know, so hopefully this explains a lot. 313 the best side said, "Nah, I'm just picking up some woods and some Tito's. My mama wants some Virginia Slims. I'll be back. Ain't nobody have me no money, so I'm out." She said nobody handed her money to buy snacks, so she out. Again, thank you to all of you who gifted, and those of you who were gifted, I hope you enjoy your memberships. The Scorpion said Lester would have been highly disappointed if he had put all his eggs in a basket with her. She's broke. All right. Lady Louisiana says she'll take a Long Island iced tea, please. God created blacks at night by drink all the Henny. Oh, Lord. We gonna need some ginger lemon honey tea in the morning. I'm gonna tell you that, because we all gonna be hungover. 313 said, "I'm taking the golf cart. I'll be back." Thank you so much for the super chat, lies, and edgelessness. Shirley said, "On a PCFP call, I acted dumb." So y'all tune in tomorrow. I can't tell you right at this second what time I'm going to go live, but it will be in the early afternoon because I have an engagement at 6 and I have to leave by 5. So it'll probably be around 12 or 1 o'clock, probably say closer to 1. We'll do something from about maybe 1 to 3. So look out for that. I'll put up a notification on that. Stephanie H9, she is literally her own worst enemy with that mouth. All this info came from that last call and she spilled it on herself. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She doesn't know when to shut up. You know, she's talking about her business, and had we not heard that call, we wouldn't have been looking to see who is Jan Ridgway. We wouldn't have been looking into this part of her life and that part of her life and about her dad and this, that, and the third. You know, so she's giving us the content. She's basically giving us the content. And that's why we're still talking about it, because she doesn't know when to shut up. Sonya can't even get a chime card with her credit. Her credit is shot. She's done. She filed for bankruptcy in 2007, and she also filed for bankruptcy in 2022. That was 2022 or 23. No, it's 22. It was 2 months after Nesto got arrested. So she's filed at least 2 bankruptcies. She claims she filed 3, but she's filed at least 2. All right. Kaya Hoga, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all, because y'all don't want me out here sounding crazy, right? I got to get it right. That's why she don't keep money in the bank. She don't keep money in the bank because she don't want it to be garnished. Sonya skates out on her debt. That's why she's banked. That's why bankruptcy is her best ally. Yes. Where is the BK docket? You can run it against some of those lawsuit days. Well, I can't do any more research tonight. I'm tired. Sonya has a sister named Trisha. Maybe Tracy is a half sister or a friend. I don't know. I've never seen that name before, Silver and Gold. I looked through everything that I have. I looked through all of the backgrounds. And, you know, when you do a background, you got to look to see who they're connected to. And then you got to check each and every one of these persons. You could be here for hours doing that. I have never seen that name. Haven't seen that name. So I'm not too sure. NP said the Academy of Court Reporting was an actual school. I actually went there. Oh, wow. Okay. So it was a school. It was fraudulent though, and they got shut down. You know what? Somebody said it was shut down in 2011, and you said you went there around 2005. Why is Ponytail connected to everything fraudulent? Even her school that she went to is fraudulent. The person that she worked for is fraudulent, got disbarred. Damn, Sonya, you don't know any honest people. She hanging around Nesto. So now y'all know why she capped for Nesto. Now y'all know. Now y'all know why she capping for Nesto. If you're wondering why, this is her life. Nesto was the perfect match for her. Any good man that gets around Sonya is they're gonna ghost her. Okay. Who has the longer rap sheet, Sonya or Nasty? I don't know. It's pretty close. I seemed to have missed the real good stuff because I had to step out for a while. That's okay. You can get on the replay. You know, any good man is gonna run from her. Her husband ran. He ran. He knew she was nuts. Okay. He knew she was nuts. And that was in what? I don't how old she have been. It was 2013. I'm not sure how old she would have been, but old enough to know better. I don't think she's gonna like this live. No one has gotten this type of information out on her that I've seen. I said what I said. No, she ain't gonna like this. But it is what it is. That's what Shirley say, right? It is what it is. I wonder did Sonya cheat on her husband? Probably. You can probably do a Q public too. I can try to do a Q public really quickly. Let me see. Let's see. I'll try to do a Q public quickly and see. I agree. Let's see. Search. Let's see Sonya Durham. I don't think I've done one on her before. Oh wait, hold on. This is Richmond County. I'm not trying to do Richmond County. Hold on a second. Let me just do a global search. I'm not even gonna search a county. Let me just do a global search first to see if anything comes up. Nope, nothing found. Okay, let's try Sonya Waller. Yeah, we just be looking up stuff on people. We just limited access. Oh, what's this? What is this? What is this? I agree. Yeah, I don't think this is her. So let me do this. Let me do one more search, and I'm going to search for Cuyahoga County. Did I get it right? Did I get it? I'm like, Nesto, colors calm me. Colors are so very calming. I watch the colors so I don't be depressed. That's why I watch the colors. Blues and greens and reds. I'm not going nuts, y'all. This was the conversation from one of the last lives. One of the last phone calls from prison. Okay, Nesto was talking about his colors. He's so thankful for all the colors. All right, now I'm in Ohio. Why don't I see this county? Why don't I see this county? Interesting. Huh. Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. I am, you know what? Let me put in Sonya Waller and see. That didn't, and you know what? I'm looking in Ohio and this county is not coming up. So I guess they don't have information in this county. This is a bunch of other counties listed. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. But anyway, let me get back to I bet Sonya wish she stayed in the bush. I bet she did. Anthony Waller equals dump a lion hoe. All right now. Tripping with Melissa said that's why she's so familiar with is civil. Exactly. 34 civil cases. 34 civil cases. Come on. And she has a new name, Flatback. Okay. Flatback Sonya. All right, there you go. Got a new name for her. I'm just checking to see if there's any other interesting comments that I missed because, yeah, the Scorpio says Sonya's gonna come for me now. She can come. She gonna come with her tail between her legs. I'll tell you that. She need to be a little bit more humble. Okay, she needs to be a little bit more humble. So Boneytail probably learned a little something about taking people's houses. She sure did. Is Thomas in here? Because we got his tea. I haven't seen Thomas in a while. I'm gonna have to check on Thomas and see how he's doing. Yeah, a public defender. Okay, for rich ass Sonya. She will have a better chance of winning the lottery than she would of starting a business. I think Sonya should just play lottery and just be done. D West knows. I think it is. She said that one sister talks too much. Sonya said her sister talks too much. A's Word said, how can I get a membership gifted to me? So A's one, what you have to do is when you are, I don't know if you're on your phone or not, but when you go into the membership section, there's a little it's like a switch bar. It's like a little dot that you switch to the side. You can switch that on. That will say that, yes, I would like to be gifted. You actually have to enable your account to be gifted. That's how it works. So her father probably was able to get her out of trouble. I'm sure he got her out of a lot of trouble because of his influence. I'm sure he did. I'm certain of it. We have a new wisdom ambassador. All right, now, y'all welcome Michelle Dobbin. This queen has decided to join the Wisdom Family Picnic, and you know how this go. When you become a member over here, we begin now. Throw it up in the chat. Michelle Dobbin, let me be the first to officially welcome you to the Wisdom Family Picnic. There is no better place to be because we begin now. We be getting lit up in here. All right. Liquor store about to close. And so is the picnic. So get your last orders in. Make sure y'all make some plates to go. Because I don't really have any more information. I'm super happy to have you here. You have access to the member only videos. I have some exclusive tea that I have on the channel, especially if you're new here. I'm not sure if you've been in the bushes for a while, if you're new here, but there's definitely some goodies there, some more goodies coming. And so please, Wisdom Ambassadors, make Michelle Dobbin feel warm and welcome. And again, Queen, thank you so much for making the decision to make it official. New Orleans lady said it's Jazz Fest out here doing it up. Master P B-Day Bash with No Limit and Boozy Badazz. Now, are you for real? Do I have to get on the flight to New Orleans? Because I'm going to be there in September. I'm actually coming in September. So which I'm assuming you still live there, but I'll be out there in September. So I will definitely hit you up. Because I already know where I want to go. I want to listen. I go to New Orleans to eat and to listen to that music because there's nothing like it. The culture in NOLA, as we like to call it, is amazing. I mean, it's a feel. I don't even know how to explain it to you. But when you're walking on those streets, it's like culture, art, food all around you, people, everybody's happy, it's merry. It's also eerie because you can kind of feel some of those spirits that are there. It's a mix of just the strangest, most beautiful energy, but I love it out there. So if you guys haven't been in New Orleans, make sure you go out there. You want to go to Mother's for breakfast. It's a little hole in the wall, but they got the best food on earth for breakfast. Get you some crackling. Make sure you go to Acme's and get you some char grilled Parmesan oysters. It's a whole vibe. Do we have to do a Wisdom Family Picnic in New Orleans? I'm going to have to see what I can pull together. Because I think we might have to do a real Wisdom Family Picnic for real. Like we'll pick a city, I'll put something together, and we will all meet up. It's New Orleans. That's right. Old school Nixie, you better get me correct. Nolans. Okay. We need to take a trip to Nolans because if you haven't been, it is. Watch Girls Trip, that'll give you an idea of what it was like. It's one of my favorite places. One of my favorite places. Sunshine blazing. Thomas is my 70-year-old mom. She's a student and have been studying for her finals lately. For her most recent classes completed. I'll let her know you asked about her. She'll be back soon. I thought Thomas was a man. You got me calling him King all this time. Y'all be fooling me with these names. Sunshine blazing. I'm so happy to see you, Queen. And let Mama know that I'm keeping her in her prayers. In my prayers, I know that she's going to ace those exams. I know it can be quite stressful, but she can do it. And I'm so proud. I love to see people go back to school and people do things that other people would say is not possible. So definitely rooting for her and telling you, don't worry, the picnic will be here. School comes first, and I expect all A's. I expect a praise report when she comes back and let her know we got that tea. No, it's real. Please send me. Absolutely. Email me and let me know a phone number where I can reach you, and I will definitely let you know because I'm coming with a group. So I will definitely, but I can stray away from the group, but I will definitely hit you up. I don't know if I'm flying or if I'm driving yet. I think it's about a 6-hour drive. So me and my sister are probably going to drive and meet the rest of the group, but I'll be in there because I have been waiting to go back to Nolans since the last time I was there in 2018. All right. Shout out to Thomas. Thomas getting them grades. I love it. All right, y'all. Listen, this was a whole lot of fun. It's what time is it? It's almost 10 o'clock on a Saturday. I'm gonna get together with Nolan's lady. All right, and we're gonna plan something. See if we can actually plan a real Wisdom Family picnic. And I will provide some details to you guys, and it will kind of because someone, and I don't remember who. So I'm not going to say the name. I don't want to get it wrong. But someone has said several times, when are we going to have a real meetup? And I think that is an awesome idea. So Nolan's lady, you reach out to me. I'm going to get with you and we will see what we can put together. It'll be something simple, just, a couple of days or whatever, something so we don't bring people's pocketbooks. And Cutie Pie 23rd 12:30 said, drinks on me. She just finished up her finals. Congratulations on finishing up your finals. Those of you who are in school and studying, just know that we are rooting for you. I've been there, and it's no joke. It is no joke at all. But if you guys need a short, happy distraction from the studying, y'all know where to come. Come to the family picnic. All right. Did you guys have fun? Let me know in the chat that you have fun. Don't forget to go to buttersandblacksoap.com and do your shopping for Mother's Day. All right. Get those orders in. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I had such a good time with you guys. As always, you know how we do over here. We always have a good time at the picnic. You know how this go. All right. So everyone have a good evening because it is just about past my bedtime and I'm about to start logging off. So Nightbot, go ahead and drop that beat. You know what to do. Let's go.